What's happening? What's happening with it? Y'all already know what it is. You tuned in to another episode of Everything Boxing. There you go, talking that boxing again. Yeah. And we finna cook today for sure. It's a lot to talk about today. And we're going to get into it. So as y'all come in the building, make sure that y'all hit the like button and, jump in the comments. Let me know you're in the building. It's a lot for us to cook today. It's a lot of things going on, especially surrounding this whole Terence Crawford and Errol Spence saga. Yeah, we're going to get into all of this today. We sure going to get into it. Believe that. So as you come in here, jump in the comments, hit the like button so we don't waste no time. Yeah. My man, let me see who we got in the building. We got my man James in the building, Mike Biggs Boxing, my man John Kramer, Kevin Wells, Cortez Bowles, AJ64, Mike Biggs Boxing, Kick Sign Social. What's happening with it? Yeah, you in the building from my home state, Arkansas. Arkansas, stand up. Yeah, you already know what it is. Todd French 600 OTB Boxing School. What it do? Speaks. What's happening with it? Randall Bivens. What it do? Chadwick Jackson. What's happening with it? Yeah. So like I said, hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the like button because it's free. Eric Borkin, what's happening with it? Straight coming from that VA. Jonathan Simon, what's happening with it? Yeah. Joshua Hawkins said, we're going to see a man down in November. Yeah. You already know when he step in the ring, when they step in the ring, that boy done for. But like I said, I fuck with both fighters, but I just want to see a hell of a fight. Yeah, kick signs, I'm talking about. We in here representing them hogs all day. Yes, sir. OTB been putting in that work. Smooth Groove Boxing off in here, always showing love and support to the channel like he always do. Coming straight from that Oak Cliff, USA, Mr. Man down. He say, I'm looking for Bud fans that like to gamble. Fuck all that other shit they was talking, Key. Tell them I said bet. He said, and I mean speak up now. Put y'all money where your hate is. He said, put y'all money where your hate was. Man down, Oak Cliff. Yeah. He said he don't want to hear none of that talking. The talking is over. Put your money up. Put your money up. Smooth Groove Boxing, you know what I'm saying, off in the building, letting y'all know what it is, straight like it is. Yeah. Todd French 600 says, laugh out loud. If Bud step in the ring, he sure is slow to sign. Well, Bud has already signed his portion of the contract according to him. So we like I said, we're gonna talk about all that. Also, we got what else we got? We got Triple G and Canelo, and I see a lot of people, I see a lot of people riding with Triple G. I see a lot of people saying that Triple G gonna take this fight. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about one of the best pound for pound fighters in my eyes, and Bam Rodriguez. That dude is a monster. Also, we're gonna talk about Mauricio Suleiman and these new WBC rules that he's implementing in boxing, right, in 2023. So we got a lot to cook on. So like I said, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna cook on it. And yeah, as you come in the building, make sure that you hit the like button. Make sure that you smash on the like button. And yeah, Randall Bivens says, I prepare for someone to renege. He said, you prepare for one of them to renege. Yeah. Robert Magnum, what's happening with it? Salute. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. So let's start off talking about, some of these fights on this card this weekend. Lord to the Game Boxing Talk, what's happening with it? Yeah, always coming through showing the support like you do, my man Kwame East, man. We wait for you to come back. Everybody wait for you to make your return back to the YouTube streets. Yeah, but salute to Lord to the boxing game. Boxing Talk in the building. So check it out. Bam Rodriguez, man. Y'all, if y'all don't know about Jesse Bam Rodriguez, y'all need to go, check on him. Y'all need to go look at him, man. He fighting on the card this weekend against Israel Gonzalez. And I know a lot of people are not familiar with the smaller weight classes, but Jesse Bam Rodriguez is a monster. Dude is by far one of the best fighters I've seen come through, the ranks in a long time. Jesse Bam Rodriguez, man, he got it all. Bam got it all. He got excellent footwork, excellent angles, punching power, jab, hook. I mean, he got it all. He have it all. The ring IQ, he's moved up and down in weight and looks the same. Whatever weight class he go to, he looked the exact same, and he looked even better when he moved up in weight. Jesse Bam Rodriguez is a force to be reckoned with. And, he going to be fighting this weekend. He going to be going in against Israel Gonzalez. Like I said, the WBC Flyweight World Championship will be on the line. So, it's John Kramer Flyweight. Flyweight. But like I said, Jesse Bam Rodriguez, he moved up 2 weight classes when he fought Carlos Cuadras. He went up 2 weight classes to fight him. What's happening with it, Coach? Coach in the building, what's happening with it? Getting ready for that glove up boxing and more with Coach and the Queen, the couples talk. Yeah, later on tonight. Y'all make sure that y'all tune into that. Yeah, Bam is real. Like I said, that kid is the real deal for sure. AK-47, what's happening with it? But yeah. So like I said, we got some solid fights going down this weekend. It's just the thing with Canelo and Triple G. That's a fight that you would have wanted to see 4 years ago. While Triple G was still somewhat, near his prime, not way out of his prime. He wasn't even in his prime 4 years ago, but he was closer to his prime than he is now 4 years later. But like I said, we're gonna talk about that. Philip McCarlo said, "What's my take on Berlanga?" Nothing. Berlanga was to me, Edgar Berlanga was a fighter, and I told people while it was happening. When Edgar Berlanga first came on the scene, he started getting, knockouts, and he started getting a big buzz. First thing you seen Edgar Berlanga doing, he was up in rap videos, all with the rappers, showing off his Terror Squad chain, hanging out with Fat Joe. He was just doing all type of extra shit. And I told people when I saw it, I said, you know what? I said, this is a bad look for Edgar Berlanga. I said, because he's showing me Adrian Brunner vibes. Not like getting in trouble and shit, but I said he's showing me Adrian Brunner vibes and somebody that likes the fame. He's fell in love with the fame and the recognition. And I said, I don't really think that he gonna be, what everybody think he gonna be because of that fact. He showed me that he wasn't somebody that was gonna be, keep his head down and stay humble and stay in the gym 24/7 and focus. And I turned out to be right. I turned out to be right. What I said about him turned out to be correct. And you see the outcome. So, yeah, Edgar Berlanga, to me, he's not it. He ain't it. And he's never going to be it. He got too many flaws in this game. Get hit too much. He don't know if he want to be a devastating knockout power puncher or a boxer. Like, he need to find himself. He need to find his style. Once he moved up in weight class and them dudes wouldn't just put in there to get knocked out, we saw what he was. And he wasn't what everybody was screaming that he was. His power wasn't like they thought it was. You know what I'm saying? It's different. It's a difference when you playing on, when you playing with middle schoolers and then you go to the college level. It's different. It's different from the college level to the NBA. And the NBA All-Stars is different from just any regular NBA player. So it's levels. And, we saw what his level is. So that's Edgar Berlanga. But yeah. General Long, what's happening with it? Coach say he got humbled, then came back in better shape, but he has a lot of flaws. If you think he came back in better shape, we didn't see it displayed in the ring. Against who he fought last time? Steven Rose? Like, you supposed to get Steven Rose up out of there. That dude ain't it. Steven Rose is some trash. And you barely squeak out a victory against him. Barely. So, yeah, man, I like Edgar Berlanga, but, as far as in the ring, he just not it. Yoda, what's happening with it, Crush? Rolling Red, what's happening with it? Dub Right Side in the building. King Styles production. He said Berlanga having an identity crisis. Yeah. Knockout Boxer, my brother in the building. What's happening with it? Knockout, great show yesterday. And y'all hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button as you come in the building. Emmanuel Pettigrew, what's happening with it? Dundada, what's good? I didn't see the weigh-in, but, I got a phone right here, so I'll look at it. I'll look at it. Thank you for reminding me, Dundada. Let me see what they looking like. Let me see. GGG versus Canelo weigh-in. And like I said, we got a lot to cook on today, so I will be dropping the link, for a few of my brothers that want to get up on the panel. And because I know a lot of people want to talk about this. So let me see. I know a lot of people want to talk about this situation, so I will be dropping the link in a little bit. Let me see what he's looking like. Let me see what they looking like. 41% of the fans got Canelo Alvarez stopping Triple G. Laura Staten, what's happening with it? Salute. I hope I said your name right. Let me see what he looking like. He came out with that music. Let me see. Let me see what they looking like on these scales. I really want to see what Triple G, I want to see what both of them looking like. I see my man Jonathan Simon, you posted their weights in the chat. I want to see what Canelo looking like going back down to 168 after being at 175. He was looking kind of pudgy his last weigh-in. Canelo wasn't looking right his last weigh-in. You feel me? If y'all remember his last weigh-in against Bivol, he was looking real pudgy. So let's see what he's looking like. I ain't gonna lie. Like I'm not rocking with Canelo, you know what I'm saying? For all the bitch shit that he be doing, but I ain't gonna lie, his hats is kind of clean. Them Canelo Alvarez, them hats he came out with that they wearing right now, them shit's kind of cold. I like them fitteds. I like them fitteds. Them joints is kind of cold. Bless Two Fish, what's happening with it? So let me see what they looking like, man. Man, they having a whole concert before the weigh-in. God dang. Come on, Canelo Alvarez doing a whole bunch. Okay, here we go. OTB say that Canelo Triple G film watch is up now. Yeah, Anthony Johnson, what's happening with it? Snatch Beat, Robert Magnum. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Robert Magnum. Them jumpsuits that Canelo and his team got in them fitties, them joints kind of cold. And you know who else got some cold ass gear? You know who else got some cold ass gear? Terence Crawford got some cold ass gear. I like that logo and that jumpsuit that Bud be having. That shit cold. Golovkin 167.8. He look about the same he always do. Got some abs on him, you know what I'm saying? He look about the same. Of course, you know he look bigger. Of course he look bigger, but you know he look about the same. Let's see what Canelo looking like. Canelo looking dry in the mug. Canelo, he look good. He cut up. He look a lot better than he did last time weighing in when he weighed in against Bivol. So they both on weight. You know what I'm saying? They both made weight good. So yeah. They both fighters look in shape, but like I said, we know that Triple G is 40 years old, and we know that Triple G haven't looked good to me in any fights in a long time. Man, everybody get OTB to 100. My bad. Excuse me. Everybody make sure that y'all subscribe to OTB Boxing School and get him to 1,000 subs. He said he 185 from 1,000. If you're not subbed to OTB Boxing Class, get him to 1,000 subs right now. And make sure that y'all also go sub to Glove Up Boxing and More. So yeah, they both looking straight. You know what I'm saying? Triple G look good. Body filled out well. Canelo, he don't look flabby like he did last time. So that I just wanted to see that real quick to see what they was looking like in the weigh-in. AJ64 said Triple G looking soft and nah, not really. You know what I'm saying? Not really. He look in shape to me. But that don't mean nothing. That's not gonna make him get in the ring and fight no different than what we've seen him fighting. So that's how I feel about the situation. Knockout say Canelo and Triple G look like they ready. Oh yeah, they both look like they ready for show. Both of them. Chef Sosa, what's happening with it? Swad Jones, what's happening? He said, AJ, he said, I think it might give me a war. Yeah, they're going to give you a war for sure. Somebody with Triple G style that don't care about getting hit. Swat Jones, what's happening with it? Yeah, you're going to see a war for sure. OTB said, Bud got some shit. I think, he said, I think that shit is Jordan Brand too. Yeah, that Bud Crawford gear, that shit cold. But yeah, anyway, like I said, now I'm not gonna waste no time. I was trying to wait for more people to get in here, but it don't look like they sending out my notifications today, like they should. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, the people that are in here, make sure that you hit the like button, and I'm gonna go ahead and get to cooking. I'm not gonna waste no more time. I'm gonna drop the link. Hold on. I'm gonna drop the link for the ones because I don't want to start cooking and then cats start asking me for the link. So today I'll drop the link and then we can get it started. So if you want the link, grab the link. I'm only gonna let 5 people up here max, no more than that. So if you don't grab the link, don't come in later on asking me, or trying to, jump on the panel when it's already full. And I'll pin the link right now. And then we're going to get into it. Coach, what's happening with it?
What's up, Key? What's going on, bro?
What's going down with it, Coach?
Shit, been up early, boy. Shit, I had some work to do this morning. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm sitting with the wife. She had an appointment, so she wanted me to ride with her to Baton Rouge, so I'm sitting in the car waiting on her.
Oh, okay. Y'all going to Baton Rouge? How far is that from you?
No, we already in Baton Rouge. She had a meeting to go to, so she wanted me to ride.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Got a business meeting. So.
Yeah. OTB, what's happening with it?
What up, Brody? What's happening, Coach?
What's happening, brother?
Same shit, different toilet.
Man, I see you done came up on that 1K real fast. Yeah, you almost there.
Yeah, man, we grinding, bro.
Yeah, definitely, no doubt.
And thanks to y'all, bro, because shit, y'all helped me every step of the way. So I appreciate, goddamn it, every bit of the work that y'all put in helping me, goddamn it, get there.
Yeah, but you putting in the work, so great work, man. But man, let's get into what's going on. One thing I do want to talk about, right? That I said I was going to talk about before we get into these this Triple G and Canelo, and then this Errol Spence and Terence Crawford whole saga that's going on. One thing I said I want to talk about is Mauricio Suleiman coming out, and he said that he's coming with a new rule in the WBC. Corey Moore, what's happening with I see you? He said he's coming out with a new rule in the WBC in 2023, right? In 2023, this next year coming up, he's saying that he's implementing the rule to where if you're a champion, right, you have to fight another champion. You got to fight another champion, right? So basically, if you're a champ, say Devin Haney has a belt and Tank Davis has a belt, right? Well, he's going to make them fight. It's like, nah, now you're Devin Haney's mandatory, and now I'm going to mandate it. And what he's saying is that he's spoken to all the other sanctioning bodies, and all of the other sanctioning bodies are on board. That's what he's saying.
So what about mandatories?
He's saying that he's saying that fighters still do have mandatories, so they still would have mandatories. But he said that they're making it to where the champion, right, with the other belt is the mandatory. But if they have a mandatory before all that, well, they still have to, fight their mandatory. But he's gonna make it to where the champion is the other champion's mandatory. So all of these fighters can stop with all of that bullshit, and they all gonna have to fight each other. Right now, y'all hit the like button. Y'all hit the like button. So the thing is you gotta listen to where it's coming from. It's coming from Mauricio Suleiman.
Yeah.
Do I believe anything that Mauricio Suleiman says? No, because he don't have no credibility with me. He'll say one thing today and then turn around tomorrow and switch up what he said and said he never said what he said the day before. So he's not credible. I would like to believe that he has all of the other sanctioning bodies on board and this is his vision for 2023. This is a new rule that he's going to implement. But it's hard for me to believe that anything that Mauricio Suleiman tells me, because when he came, when he came out with the franchise title, what did he do? He told us that it was the reason for the franchise was for, right? And y'all got to remember this. When he came out with the franchise title, he said the reason for him coming out with a franchise title is so guys like Canelo or whoever the champion is, they don't have to fight mandatories like Abner Yildirim. You can't just put somebody that nobody ever heard of, like a Carlos Ocampo, and say, okay, well, now he's your mandatory. He said that was the whole point of making a franchise belt, so they can see these no-name guys that just came out of nowhere, that's all of a sudden they mandatory, and they can say, you know what, nah, I'm not fighting them. I got other bigger plans. And then he switched it. And then he switched it again. And in the beginning, he said the franchise title, it couldn't change hands, right? If a guy loses a fight, well, he don't lose the franchise title. It don't change hands. Then he switched that. So, I mean, he's not credible. He's not credible. We know that he don't give a damn about lying to the fans, that he's going to run the WBC crooked and corrupt. He ain't going to do what he wants to. So I can't believe him when he's saying, look, in 2023, I'm coming with it. And I got all of the other sanctioning bodies on board to where if you're a champion, you got to fight the other champion, right? And all the sanctioning bodies on board. That would be great for boxing. You know how great that would be for boxing? Because now we don't have to get on here and argue about wanting to see Tank Davis and Devin Haney or Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. They don't have no choice but to fight each other. That's how boxing should be. Now he's telling you how boxing should be, but is he really going to do it? And is all the other sanctioning bodies going to stay on board or going to even be on board with this? Because, yeah, he's telling us that. But you got, what, 3 other major sanctioning bodies that ain't came out and said this. So, you know, I don't know. What y'all take on this? Coach, let me get your take on this.
My question is, what about the person that's undisputed? Fuck, they ain't got no fucking champions if you got all the fucking belts. So that shit is obsolete for Devin and it's obsolete for Canelo, unless Canelo lose this weekend. So, you know, what's up with that? What's up with that shit? So is he going? So these title eliminators that these fucking fighters done did, and they the mandatories for the champion, or that just go out the window? So the rules need to clear up some shit. You know, I don't believe nothing that fucking guy says. He, just like you said, he's corrupt as hell. We see it, and he blatantly put it in our face. He contradict himself all the fucking time. You know, he's not credible at all. You know, he frustrates the fans because we can see through the bullshit. The real boxing fans can see through the bullshit, and he stutters. He fumbles above all over his words when people hold his feet to the fire. You know, so you know he's been on some channels and people has asked questions and he stumbled all over himself. So I don't believe nothing that dude says. I could care less what that dude say, man, because we know boxing is corrupt and we know the sanctioning bodies are corrupt. So I don't waste shit into that, man. I don't.
Somebody asked a question. Let me see. I seen the question. Kirk McCall says, how is that going to work with different promotional companies? Well, the thing is, that's the point.
That's who the
That's the
message
point
to.
that he's trying to drive to say, you know, we're gonna get in this and we're gonna take all of that size of the street shit out. Right. It don't matter if you with a promotional company. If you got a belt in one of these sanctioning bodies, well, you're gonna have to fight. Or you're gonna have to fight, or you're gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, drop your title.
Somebody got their
And
YouTube
that's what I got out of it. This was a clear-cut message to the promoters who saying that they don't want to work with each other. Yeah. This was a clear-cut message to Mr. Al Heyman, who run the WBA, to Mr. Bob Arum, who run the WBO. He was talking to them. Hey, y'all gonna have to get this shit together, because once I mandate these fights, like bro said, either your fighter will be stripped, or we gonna give the fight this, or we gonna give the people these fights. And as much as
if the WBA tell him go fuck yourself, you can go fuck yourself.
Then think about, but you have to consider that next time you want your champion to unify with one of my champions. And we talking about the WBC.
We're talking about the sanction. He's saying, Coach, listen, he's saying that the sanctioning bodies are all
in agreement.
I'm saying I don't believe it, but the question that you asking is not pertaining to what he's saying, right? So he's saying that the sanctioning bodies are all on board. I don't believe him, but you know, so if that's the case, the promoters wouldn't have a factor in this. The promoters can't say, well, nah, we're not working with them. Okay, well then your champion ain't a champion no more.
And that make me ask the question of this. Is it more beneficial? And this is a rhetorical question, because we all know the answer to this. Is it more? It must be more beneficial to these sanctioning bodies to have an undisputed champion because of these sanctioning fees. So now y'all gonna enforce that. And that's crazy, like shit. But I don't know. That's a double-edged coin, because you're gonna have a lot of people becoming undisputed or unifying and then dropping belts to stay away from these sanctioning fees.
They don't pay the sanctioning fees anyway. They don't pay the sanctioning fees anyway. They're not the ones who pay the sanctioning fees. The fighters not the ones who pay that shit.
Well, these fighters are they own promotional companies. A lot of these
promotional companies pay it, or the networks pay it.
But you gotta think, if you a fighter like a Jermell Charlo, whose promotional company is Lions Only, he comes to us through visual of Showtime. You understand? But that's because that's who Lions Only promotional deal with, which makes them.
And Showtime gonna pay the fucking sanctioning fee.
See, and
that's fighters don't pay that shit. Man, them fighters don't pay that shit, bro.
Yeah, I ain't declining that. I'm just saying that if you a fighter with a small promotional company, it keep you at the bottom of the line. So a lot of these fighters that's on Pro Bellum, you understand, a lot of these fighters that's on small promotional companies, it keep them where they at. How do they rise in this? And that's crazy. Because then we get in the big fights that we want, but for the guy who got to climb up the ladder, now we looking at Aaron Pryor, who was mandatory for 3 years. Like shit. So everybody got to take that into context when I hear people say we don't need so many belts, because shit, we done had fighters who done actually been mandatories for years and then been ducked. That's a duck.
Yeah. So you know, let me see. Big Rev. You could take yourself. You got to take me off of the background. I think you got me in the background because you got a lot of people.
Yeah, you got your YouTube playing, bro. Cut your YouTube out.
Oh, cut the YouTube out.
Yeah, you got to cut the YouTube in the background.
Mute it.
Yeah, you could just mute it.
I did mute the YouTube. Can you hear me?
Let me see. Good now.
Oh,
no, you still got to take it off.
I did. Oh, you talking about take it off completely?
Yeah, YouTube in the background.
I muted it, but I take it off completely.
Yeah.
Okay. How about that?
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. I don't know.
No, I thought y'all were gonna chop it up about Bud and Spence, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
You got to echo still.
Cause that Suleiman, man, I already know what he talking about. He'll tell you one thing today, and tomorrow it'll be something else. So I already know about Suleiman, and these what he's talking about, which is nothing. But when y'all start chopping it up, I'm here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, and put your mic on mute because you got bad internet. I don't know what it is. Let me mute him. Jonathan Simon, what's happening with it, Jay Simon?
Oh, not too much, man. How y'all doing today?
Oh, man, good.
What up,
What's
Jonathan
up,
Simon?
What's
up?
What's happening?
I'm listening to y'all and I'm watching Max on boxing right now.
Oh, yeah?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I got an echo too.
Yes.
Damn.
So I got an echo, huh?
Let me see. That's because Rev took his mic off of mute. Now, say something now, Jonathan Simon.
You should be good now, Jonathan.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah,
you good. That's Big Rev's. That was coming from him. Go ahead. You good?
You good, Jonathan? Go ahead, cook.
They said listening to him, Mike Carpenter, he said they agreed to all the material. That nigga talking so fast.
Yeah, we gonna get into all of that.
I know get into that. Yeah, we already hit
y'all cook. Y'all cook right now. I'm just listening to this.
Okay.
About to fight.
Yeah, go ahead.
But so like I was saying, man, is that I don't believe what Mauricio Suleiman say, but we'll see. We ain't got too long. 2023 right around the corner. But I'm gonna remember he said this shit, and everybody needs to hold his feet to. Hey, Reb, you got to go in and come back. You got to go out and come back in. I mean, let me get you up out of here. You got to come back in and make sure that your YouTube. When you come back in, make sure that your YouTube is not playing in the background.
Nah, I got it.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, like I said, man, I'm gonna remember this, and everybody need to hold his feet to the fire because he came out and he said this is what he gonna do. He said that all the sanctioning bodies are gonna be on board, and so let's see what it is. Now, I ain't gonna waste no time. I'm gonna get straight into this Canelo Alvarez and Triple G. It's tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, Canelo Alvarez and Triple G fight for the third time. I see a lot of people, coaches, one of them, saying that Triple G has a great chance this time. All of a sudden, Triple G, he could be more powerful at 168. Triple G, he has a great chance because Canelo Alvarez, he might not be the same fighter after he got beat by Bivol and, this and that. And me, to tell you the truth, man, I don't see Triple G having a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez. I think that Canelo is a better fighter than he was 4 years ago when they fought. He got more experience. He's older now, and he's been in the gym longer, and he's had time to learn more. I see people saying that this is the end of an era. Canelo Alvarez is at the end of his road. And I'm like I said, I'm not a Canelo fan, but to me, that's crazy to say some shit like that. How is a man that's only 31 years old at the end of his road? Because he lost one time, moved up in weight, and fought a guy that was much bigger than him. He ain't lost. Y'all gotta understand, he still hasn't had nobody beat him in the weight class that he actually campaigns in. We still haven't seen, him declining when he fights at 168. Before we go, running off saying all this other shit, we have to see him get beat up at 168 pounds and show that he's declining in his weight class. Just because he got beat by Bivol don't mean that Triple G, 40 years old, 4 years later, right? The same man that lost the second fight clearly is gonna come back all of a sudden and put a whooping on Canelo. I don't see that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't see that. Triple G has slowed down a lot. We know that his body has been exposed. He can't take body shots. And what does Canelo do? One of his best attributes is going to the body. Canelo is going to make sure that he break your body down. Triple G can't take the body punishment now. Also, like I said, Triple G slowed down. He don't have no defense, no head movement, and he never really did, but he sure don't have it now. And the level of competition that he's been fighting has been horrible, and he hasn't looked good against them. If guys like Murata and Steven Rose is able to get off on Triple G, what the fuck you think Canelo gonna do to him? That's what I'm trying to understand. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that I'm trying to understand when I hear people say that Triple G, oh, I mean, I got Triple G beating Canelo this time. Sure, it's going to be different. No, nah. The first fight to me, I was going for Triple G. I was going for Triple G, had a lot of money on Triple G, and I thought Triple G got robbed until I went back and watched the fight, and I said, damn, Triple G actually didn't get robbed, and I scored the fight a draw. I had to fight dead even. I had it 5 rounds to 5. I had it 5 rounds to 5 rounds, and I had 1 round a draw. I scored it dead even. So the fight was that close. Triple G was throwing a lot of shots, but he wasn't landing a lot. And Canelo Alvarez his punches were much crisper, even though he didn't have the work rate that Triple G had in the first fight. But his connect percentage was much higher, and he was landing the much cleaner shots. You know, off of the shoulder roll, coming back, countering Triple G, and they was both doing good work. But like I said, I had that fight a draw. The second fight, it wasn't no crushing. Canelo came out and he did what he said he was going to do. Triple G was crying about he wanted to fight. He wanted Canelo to fight him Mexican style. In the first fight, Canelo ran and he didn't fight Mexican style. So Canelo said, all right, bet. I'm going to stand in the middle of the ring and I'm going to fight you the way you want me to fight you. And he did that, and he beat him at his own game. He beat him at his own game. So what more can you ask for? Once I saw that, I didn't need to see this fight no more. I said Canelo just better than him now. At this point, at this stage in their careers, Canelo is the better fighter now. And I didn't need to see no more. And now I definitely don't need to see this fight 4 years down the line. I'm going to watch it because I watch all boxing. But, you know, it's, to me, I don't see Triple G winning this fight at all. Hit the like button. The people that's in the building, it's a lot of y'all that ain't hit the like button. Smash the like button. Because I mean, I can shut it down. I don't have to be on here. Coach, let me see what you're talking about, man. What you got, man? Make it make sense. The things that you was talking about.
Well, I'm not saying that Gennady Golovkin gonna beat him. I already went over this yesterday, but I'm gonna tell you this. I think that Gennady Golovkin, because of his experience level as far as being a high-level amateur and being in the positions he's been in, I think that he's going to learn from that Bivol fight. And we also know that Canelo's volume at 168 and 175 has went down from 4 years ago. His volume of punches and him being able to if Triple G fights smart and control distance, if he controls distance, you got to understand Murata's a much taller man. Steve Rose is a much taller guy than Canelo. So you have to take all of that into consideration. Now, is he going to beat Canelo? I don't know. It all depends on what Triple G show up. If a Triple G that's in fantastic shape, have a high output and control distance, he's going to beat Canelo. If he can control distance with his jab, and because Canelo's shorter than he is. If he learned anything from the Bivol fight and have high volume, especially when Canelo get in the high guard, Canelo is not a great counterpuncher. Canelo likes to lead the way. He likes to brutalize you and stop you that way. That's the way he likes to fight. Now, can he counter you? Yeah, he makes some counters. But as far as if he control a distance and uses legs and he don't get tired and he has a higher output to where he frustrates Canelo, because we see Canelo get frustrated. He got frustrated in the Caleb Plant fight, except Caleb Plant ain't had no fucking power to keep him off. Well, that's not the case with this. So if Triple G can control distance, don't get tired, and use his legs and use his jab and his right hand to keep Canelo at bay and have a high out, especially when Canelo getting in the high guard, then Triple G can win.
It sounds good, Coach, but I don't agree with you. Triple G ain't doing none of that shit.
Okay.
Triple G's not doing none of that shit. He's doing what he does. He's gonna come forward with pressure, leave his face wide open with no defense. He don't have angles. He don't have legs like you saying that he does. I don't see none of that. And I could tell you by saying that you don't know shit about boxing. Like you like to tell everybody don't know shit about boxing. What you just said sound like you don't know shit about boxing.
Hold on, I proved you wrong about Bivol.
That's over. We moved on to Triple G now.
I proved you wrong. With fucking Cambosis and Teal. And your ass don't know nothing about football either, because I proved you wrong with the motherfucking Saints this past weekend. Yeah.
Hey, like I said, with the breakdown that you gave, Triple G using his legs and controlling the ring, man, come on, man. Triple G ain't doing none of that shit with his old ass.
All right.
He ain't got none of that in him. You know what I'm saying? Right. Triple G gonna do like you seen him do against Zermeta and Steven Rose and goddamn the Japanese dude.
Don't be surprised, bro. He's very intelligent, bro. Don't be surprised now.
Yeah, he got the intelligence, but he don't got the, you know what I'm saying, his mind, right? His body don't react with his mind no more.
Okay, well, we'll see. He might turn back the clock for one more night, bro. You never know. Nigga might be like Eddie Kane Jr. at church, boy. You never know. Turn back the hands of time.
Turn back the clock good enough to get a draw, because he never got no win. He lost. He got a draw on the L.
No, I'm talking about turn back the hands of time as far as being able to use his legs and control distance. That's all I'm saying. Don't be surprised, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if Triple G. Like I said, it's gonna be a war, because we know how Triple G fight. The only thing that I'm asking myself is, can Triple G survive 12 rounds? That's the only thing I'm asking myself. I'm not asking who's gonna win this fight. My thing is Canelo gonna win by decision, or is Canelo gonna stop him?
Canelo ain't stopping Triple G. It's not happening. Y'all can forget that shit. Y'all can get that shit out y'all head. It ain't happening.
Well, he can beat up on him enough for the ref to stop the fight.
Okay.
I'm not saying that it's gonna happen, but that's the only question that I'm really asking. Is Canelo gonna win by decision, or can he stop Triple G this time? That's my question I'm asking. That's what I'm thinking about in my head. Because
not stopping Triple G.
Because the thing is, if now everybody knows that Triple G can't take body punches, right? He's Keith Thurman when it comes to the body. The only difference is Keith Thurman will turn his back and he'll run from you, and Triple G would just curl up right there and then stick his face out and let you hit him in the head, and let you hit him in his chin.
Talk about it.
All right. I'm just saying, I don't like Canelo, so
I don't like neither one of them.
Yeah, Coach gonna bet against Canelo on this bye week.
I ain't gonna lie.
I don't like Triple G or fucking Canelo, but I want Triple G to win.
No, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, right? Now, would I like to see Triple G beat Canelo? Yeah, I would like to see Triple G win the fight more than I would, and I can't stand neither one of them. But I would like to see Triple G. I would like to see Triple G win more than I would Canelo, because of the simple fact, the shit that Canelo came out and said, that he's not fighting no Mexican fighters. And so when you look at 168 and then you look at 175, he's deleting himself out of the equation. He's making it so he don't have to fight no tough competition. So
He don't
fuck
want
Canelo.
Benavidez, and he don't want nothing to do with Zerto.
Yeah, he don't want nothing to do with Zoro, and he don't want Benavidez. So fuck him. I don't want to see him win, but you know, I know that Triple G is not good enough anymore to beat Canelo. So what you know what I'm saying? What you want me to do? Young Billy, what's happening with it?
Facts. Salute YB.
So you know, I mean, I'm kind of like it's a tough spot for me because if I put my money on it, right, I'm gonna put my money on Canelo. But then
what the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about? Canelo has to win so we can see Charlo and Benavidez and Bibble fights. What the fuck you mean? He don't want no smoke. He just told your dumb ass, I'm not fighting no Mexicans. He not fucking with Benavidez because he's scared of that fucking man. We'd already seen the shit. I don't understand
And
why
as
you
much
can't
as
understand that shit. I'm not fighting no Mexicans.
And as much as Triple G talking about some, he got options. Shit, he done made it obvious to us. You not about to fight Charlo. You not about to fight Benavidez. You not about to fight shit. No. So you just brought Murata out of to a weight class he ain't fought in 2 years. What's next? You gonna goddamn it?
The thing with Triple G that's different than me, I think that Triple G, right? If he wins, you only gonna have to see him fight one more time at most. Right?
I don't even see that, Keith.
Huh?
I don't see that, Keith. I think he gonna fucking retire. If he beat Canelo and win undisputed, that motherfucker gonna retire and be like, man, fuck this shit and be done. I guarantee you.
Yeah, you about right, coach.
Yeah,
so that's my thing. I don't think that we gonna have to worry about him staying in the weight class holding shit up if he wins. No. You feel me? But if Canelo win, what the fuck he gonna do? We gotta go see him fight a John Ryder and a Makabu and all types of other bullshit.
When it comes to boxing, you don't know what to speculate no more. Because Mike Carpenter said he just interviewed both fighters this week. He said Triple G said he's not even thinking about retirement after this fight. He want to continue.
Well, you really
say that shit till he get his ass whooped.
You're not supposed to say that. Like, to me, I don't ever want to hear fighters saying that they thinking about retiring after, you know, this fight that's coming up. He's not supposed to say that. Now, has he been moving like he's gonna stay in and fight for a long time? No, because we know that the only reason he was fighting anybody before anyway is because he was waiting around for Canelo Alvarez payday.
Yep. Wait.
Now, once he got that, what else is it for him to do? If he were to pull off a miracle and beat Canelo, what else would it be for him to do if he's already told you he's never fighting the Demetrius Andrade? He told you he's never fighting the Jamal Charlo, and it ain't really nothing else for him to do.
Yeah, he another one. He a pussy too. No, he put everybody in the MBF league. Canelo got an MBF league and a fucking MF league. He don't know Mexican fighters, no black fighters. He don't want to fuck with none of them. So, you know, what the fuck? Pussy ass dudes, bro. They pussy ass dudes, both of them. Because Triple G could have fucking unified. Look who he chose. I'm going to go fight Murata, dude who hadn't fought in 2 fucking years. And then you go and fight him when you could have fucking, you chose not to go because he was the WBC champion before at 160, right? So you're going to sit here and they offered you, in order to get in line to fight Canelo again, you had to fight Jamal Charlo. He said no. He went the other way. He went, I think it was what, IBF or the WBA, one of them. He went that way. He wouldn't fucking fight Charlo, and he wouldn't fight the WBO champion. He didn't try to unify. He went down a whole different fucking road to get a fucking belt again. That's what he did. Then he gonna unify with Murata. So we know what that's about. We know what that shit is about.
Yeah, Murata had been out 3 years. He hadn't fought since 2019.
Yeah, he a bitch ass dude. And fucking Canelo a bitch ass dude. So you got 2 bitch ass dudes fighting each other. That's what you got. So, but I want the fucking bitch ass dude from 160 to beat his ass because we already heard him say out his own mouth, I'm not fighting no Mexican fighters when your mandatory fucking challenger who got the fucking interim WBC belt is waiting on your bitch ass and you don't want to fight him. So we know what that's about.
Not
right?
Our coach, ETB and OTB, Canelo stance. He's never was signed with Matchroom, and supposedly this is his last fight with the Zone.
That's Triple G. That's Triple G. That was Triple G you talking about. This is Triple G's last fight.
Yeah.
And he was never signed to Matchroom. That's Triple G, not Canelo.
Because the ex-Eddie Hearn, right after the win and stuff like that, he said, the reporter said, we're not overlooking this fight tomorrow, but Canelo is the favorite to win this fight. What you think is next? He said, I don't know if Canelo will be back on the Zone.
You mean Triple G?
No, he said Canelo. The reporter asked Canelo. He said we got to wait and see, but I don't know. But we know he ain't going to Showtime or PBC because you know that lineup over there.
Yeah, and like to me, everybody, I think one fighter that we need to stop bringing up in this equation is Jamal Charlo, because we need to hold Jamal Charlo at the same like we do these other cats that we talking about, because he hasn't fought nobody. And really, to tell you the truth, I don't want to see at this point. I don't want to see Jamal Charlo fight no Canelo Alvarez, because look where his career is at. He hasn't done nothing, and then we know that he's not disciplined. Like, it's just so much of fucked up shit going on with Jamal Charlo. If Canelo Alvarez go in and beat Jamal Charlo, it's gonna be so many excuses on why he beat Jamal. Like, Jamal Charlo need to get his shit straight. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep him out of this equation. Now,
I'm just saying about what happened in the past, dude.
But that's in the past. But when we talk about David Benavidez and and David Morrell, right? Even you could say Demetrius Andrade, because he ducked Janabek. But hey, if Demetrius Andrade ducked Janabek, I want to see Triple G in Janabek. If Triple G talking about he gonna stay in, well, get some smoke with Janabek then.
Facts.
He ain't fucking with Janabek. He ain't gonna do that.
And both you motherfuckers could eat the same meat.
I want to talk about the fighters that are active, that are willing and down to fight.
David Morrell didn't want no smoke either. He didn't want no smoke with that fucking Mexican monster either.
Well, what David Morrell said, and I listened to Young Billy interview. David Morrell said that he wanted to fight. That was his team saying that shit, but it wasn't him. He wanted the Benavidez fight. He said he definitely wants that fight, but that's his team. So just like they did with Benavidez, with David Benavidez, when Sampson came out and he said that he didn't want David Benavidez fighting Demetrius Andrade, but then everybody took that and ran with it and said that David Benavidez said he didn't want to fight Demetrius Andrade, when it never went down like that. So, you can't speak for these fighters. These fighters have their own brain, right? Their own mouth, and, their own way of thinking.
And he can want to fight.
What's happening with it? Chris Primetime, what it do?
And he can want that fight, and his team not want it.
Right. So we you know what I'm saying? This is not the first time that we've heard of fighters wanting to fight, but the team not wanting it. Look, I mean, shit. If that's the case, fucking Gervonta Davis don't want to fight nobody but fucking C and D level fighters. If that's the case,
he don't want to fight nobody but Ryan Garcia. If that's the case,
and Ryan Garcia, yeah.
Here's the thing, OTB. They just said that fight might be more difficult to make than the Bud and Spence fight now.
I think it will.
Keep been saying that shit.
I've been saying that, man. Like, I cannot see Canelo. I cannot see Golden Boy Promotions, right? Oscar De La Hoya getting together and working with Al Heyman, Floyd Mayweather, and Leonard Ellerbe. I can't see that shit happening. I just can't see that.
Man, they don't make that fight happen. That shit speak volumes for them as a promotional company. How do you sign a young star, or how do you sign any boxer when your lead money get your head ticket on your camp tell you he want to fight and you don't make it happen for him. So what fighter gonna sign with him knowing that? Shit, that mean that no matter, I'm signing not only my career over to you in every facet, but I'm signing my opponents that I'm gonna fight, because you make it clear to me that even if I want to go and make a fight happen, you not willing to as a promoter. And that's a hell of a message to send.
So the issue with that situation gonna be the networks.
Yeah, it's so many things that could stop the Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis fight from taking place. It's so many loopholes and hills they got to climb to get that fight to take place. I don't see it taking place. You know what I'm saying? Like we talking about Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. That's a much more difficult fight to make than Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? You got egos in play. Ain't nan one of these dudes finna set their ego aside to make this shit happen. Nan one of them. And I'm not talking about the fighters. I'm talking about the ones that's in charge.
Yeah.
But like I said, y'all hit the like button. Smash on the like button, because I'm gonna get into this Errol Spence and Terence Crawford situation right now. So everybody smash on the like button. We're gonna talk about it, right? Let me see. Let me see if I miss anything. And like, hit the like button, smash the like button so we can cook on this. And then I'm gonna get up out of here because I ain't finna waste no time today. So Terence Crawford and Errol Spence yesterday, everybody saw that Mike Carpenter, once again, he came out and he announced that the fight was agreed to. All parties have agreed to all terms, and the fight was pretty much on for November the 19th. It was just a few things that they had to iron out in the contract, but the fight was 85 to 90% basically complete, right? So everybody, put out the story. I put out the story, but, I talked about how I felt about the news that came out, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was like, yeah, it's pretty much a done deal. Everybody took that as, yeah, it's a done deal. We getting it popping. You know what I'm saying? It's on and popping. When can I buy the tickets? I heard people saying, I'm getting my plane tickets today. I'm booking my hotel and everything, right? So I said, I'm gonna hold up on all that. I want to see what else is going on. I want to hear what Errol Spence's side got to say. I want to hear what Terence Crawford's side got to say. Now, as of right now, we still haven't heard anything from Errol Spence. All he did was come out with an emoji, a yawning emoji, basically saying, I'm tired of waiting or about time. I don't know what it means. Errol Spence, what he do, I noticed the shit that he do on Twitter. He like to fuck with people, right? Because he know that people gonna run and make a video about that shit. So what Errol Spence does, and I noticed that shit, he'll put he won't even say that. He'll put emoji he'll put like two eyeballs or a yawning emoji like he did. You know what I'm saying? And then he'll put two eyeballs looking, and motherfuckers will go make a video. Errol Spence letting everybody know that his torn retina is 100% healed.
Facts.
That's breaking news. Errol Spence just came out right now and told the world that his eyeballs are 100% healed, and he's looking at Terence Crawford right now. Breaking news. So he does that shit because he knows what's going to come behind it. Just like yesterday. He puts a yawning emoji. He ain't say nothing. Errol Spence, breaking news. Errol Spence tells Terence Crawford that he's tired of waiting on him and doing, you know what I'm saying? So I'll be laughing at the shit. I know that Errol Spence does that shit on purpose, just so he can sit back and see the comedy that's going to follow behind it, right? You know what I'm saying? But I ain't knocking nobody, it is what it is. But I'm just letting y'all know why he does that. Like, because I know a lot of people be wondering, like, why he just don't come out and say what the fuck that is on his mind. He does that shit on purpose. And he laughs about the shit behind the scenes, right? But anyway, so we haven't heard nothing from Errol Spence and his team. But we did hear something from Terence Crawford's team. You know what I'm saying? We did hear something from Terence Crawford's team, and What we heard from Terence Crawford's team was the exact opposite of what we've been hearing. Now, Bernie the Boxer, he said that Terence Crawford called him specifically, called him up on the phone and said, look, this is what you need to let the world know. This is coming straight from me. He says, look, first of all, I want the world to know that I have signed everything. They tried to give me a slave contract that they think that I wouldn't sign, but I called Errol Spence and his team's bluff and I signed it, right? This is what he said. I signed a 65-35 split. I also agreed to get no guaranteed money, and we agreed on a rematch clause, but I also had to agree that I would be the B side in the rematch. And now I have signed the contract. I'm calling Errol Spence's bluff, and now it's time for Errol Spence to get his pen and sign the contract, because it's actually been the other way around. I've been agreed. I've been signed my portion of the contract. This didn't just happen yesterday. It didn't happen today. I've been waiting on Errol Spence. We waiting on Errol Spence. Now I'm calling his bluff. I did everything you think that I wouldn't do. I agreed to everything. Now it's your turn to sign. And Errol Spence is now the holdup because we're waiting on him to sign his contract. This is what Bernie said that was told to him by Terence Crawford when he got the phone call from Bud yesterday. Now, I listened, right? And I can't say that he a liar, but what I can say is that I don't believe it. Me, personally. I'm not telling nobody else how to feel about the situation, and I'm going to give my reason why I don't believe everything that he said. Now, the 65-35 split, it could be true. I don't believe that he's not getting no guaranteed money, and I'm going to start with that. The reason that I don't believe that he's not getting any guaranteed money, because Terence Crawford and his whole team, right, admitted when Terence Crawford himself admitted this when he was on the Porter Way podcast, when Sean Porter said that the money was the issue and PBC needed to get the money right. Terence Crawford was sitting right there and he agreed. He didn't say, well, no, Sean, that ain't the issue. It ain't got nothing to do with money. When all the reports came out, all the reports were coming out leading back to Bud Crawford wasn't happy about the money that he was being offered, the upfront money, right? The guaranteed money upfront that he was being offered. That was the whole storyline, and he admitted it when he went on Porter Way podcast, because if it wasn't true, he would stop Sean Porter right there and told him, nah, that's not true, right? When we heard Steven Espinoza, he alluded to that. Everybody that we've heard from is come back to Bud not being satisfied with the money that he was offered, and specifically the guaranteed upfront money that he was offered. So now you expect me to believe that not only did you take a 65-35 split when Steven Espinoza said that this fight was going to be much, much, much closer to 50-50, you also want me to believe that you came back to the table and said, you know what? Y'all were offering me $9 million for 2 fights, right? Or whatever, up front. Now it's cool. I don't want nothing up front. I'll agree. I agree to 65-35, and I agree to no guaranteed money. I can't believe that. Like, I really can't believe that. Now, what I do believe is that for his fans that do believe that, it's going to really make him look like the boogeyman, right? It's going to put him out in the front and make him look like he is the one that really, really wanted this fight after all. Because, hey, who really wanted to fight? Terence Crawford took 65-35, and he agreed to not take no guaranteed money. All his money coming from the back end. That's how much Terence Crawford believes in himself. that make him sound like the boogeyman. That's what I do believe. But I do I believe that he took that deal that's giving him 65-35 and no guarantee? Fuck no. Hell no. Right? Also, they're saying that, hey, shit, now we agreed to everything. We also agreed to be the B side in the rematch. I don't believe that either, because I know how big Terence Crawford's ego is, right? And this is his words through Bernie. He said, I put my ego aside and I even agreed to this. I agreed to, you know what? Yeah, in a rematch, if I beat you in a rematch, if you want a rematch, I'll still be the B side. That ain't happening. That shit ain't happening. You mean to tell me that Terence Crawford is agreeing to be the B side in a rematch if he wins all of the titles? Now, he's undisputed. He got all of the belts. He's pound for pound number one. And he gonna take the B side to a man that he just beat. You can't make me believe this shit. Like I said, I ain't calling him no liar because I haven't heard from Errol Spence's side. But I'm telling you, I don't believe the shit. That's very hard for me to believe the way that Terence Crawford does business. I think that if that deal was on the table, you got to take 65-35. You also got to take no guaranteed money. And you also got to agree to a rematch if you win. And you also got to be the B side on the rematch. I think that Terence Crawford would have walked right away from that deal. He would have walked right away. He would have chunked the deuce, because if that was the case, it wouldn't have took us this long to get this far in these negotiations. And he's not going to basically take less than what they were originally offering him in the first place. That just don't make no sense to me at all. Now, as far as him saying that Errol Spence still hasn't signed his portion of the contract, and they're waiting on Errol Spence, everything that he said, all of that shit goes hand in hand, because if you listen to that and you believe everything that they're saying, that makes him sound like a monster. That makes it sound like that Errol Spence's bluff got called. Terence Crawford is the one to want this, that Terence Crawford is the one that wanted this fight the whole time, and Errol Spence never really wanted to fight. He was doing all that shit, not thinking that Terence Crawford was going to sign the contract. And now we see who is really big and bad. And Errol Spence ain't about all that shit that he was talking about. That's what it make it look like if you believe that shit. Same type of smoke and mirror campaign that they was running on ESPN. Errol Spence is ducking. He's afraid of Bud. He don't want to fight Bud. He wouldn't. You could give him enough money in the world to fight Bud Crawford. This, and that. They're just going on with the same thing. It's a part of promotion on their team, right? But I don't believe that shit. And if Terence Crawford has signed his portion of the contract, right, regardless of what he agreed to and what he didn't agree to, if he signed it, you better believe that Errol Spence has already signed his portion, or Errol Spence is signing his portion. Now, the last thing I want to get to before I pass it on, and I'm going to let the brothers cook, right? Last thing I want to get to is I want to say that Bernie also alluded to the fight being in Alliance Stadium. He alluded to the fight might be taking place in Raiders Stadium, and I like that. I hope that the fight is taking place at Raiders Stadium, because that's a plus for the fans. Way more fans can attend, right? Because you go to MGM, you only going to get about 15,000, 16 at the most, right? With T-Mobile, you're only going to get about 17,000 at the most fans that's able to attend, right? But he's saying that weekend of November the 19th, he's saying that Bud basically said, yeah, all that shit is true. We just waiting on Errol Spence. The date and all that, but the date could change. But he's saying that November the 19th, the Raiders are not in town that weekend. Alliance Stadium is open for November the 19th, right? And like I said, I'm the first one that came out a long time ago and started talking about they need to have this in Raiders Stadium, because the ticket prices are going to be much more affordable. I ain't going to say cheap. because they ain't gonna be cheap, but they're gonna be much more affordable than the fight being in T-Mobile or MGM, right? Also, a lot more fans are gonna be able to attend. So if you're a fan and you thinking about attending this, you better cross your fingers and hope that they have it in the Lions Stadium. Unless some people don't really need to worry about it because they got money like that and they rich. But so for the majority of fans, y'all better hope and pray that it's in Alliance Stadium, the Raiders Stadium, and it's gonna be a lot more affordable than it would be in T-Mobile or the MGM. So we still got to see where they're gonna place the fight. And we still got to get a definite date. But with all that being said, this is what he had to say about the situation. Terence Crawford himself through his team. What's happening with it? Blue blood. What it do, Blue?
Salute, Blue.
Yeah. OTB, it's on you.
And do I believe 65-35? Nah, of course they're gonna push that narrative. You understand? There's somebody who looked for edge. He done been listening to everybody say that this fight was being held up due to him. You understand? So of course he gonna try and control the narrative going into the fight. Do I believe it's made? Yep, I believe it's made. I've been saying that because these fighters ain't did nothing but make sure that we see them working. You understand? So based off of that, I am to believe that it's made. I love Raider Stadium. You understand? I definitely think that that's that can be an epic event. And Raider Stadium is beautiful too, man. My uncle went out there last year and showed me that shit, man. But Raider Stadium, beautiful. I think, like you say, that's gonna be a lot of fans that can attend. I wasn't a fan of it being a week before Thanksgiving, but hey, I'm just glad that we getting it. I'm glad that we closer to it. And I ain't surprised that they tried to push the narrative. Yeah, I mean, the closer we get to this fight, the more you will start to see, I mean, both sides start to point fingers at each other, start to really get more upfront with the public. Yeah, I mean, start to communicate more, start to show us that they working more, and start to show us we about to get the fight of the decade. So as long as I know that we getting that, bro, I'm for it.
Yeah, okay. My man Jonathan Simon, what's happening with it?
From what I just heard, you know what I'm saying? I'm hoping it's going to happen. I'm hoping everything is settled between the both of them when it comes to terms. From what I heard about 45 minutes ago, that the legalities when it comes to the terms and stuff like that is still a question on Spence's side. Bud pretty much agreed when it came to his side. And Carpenter just said that he's not sold the fight is going to happen, but he broke it yesterday. See, I'm still not sold yet that the fight would happen. But it is coming down to legalities and lawyers and the terms. And now it done swayed it towards Spence side. Before it was Bud, now it done changed. The stance done changed more so to Errol Spence. Because he's looking at the legalities when it comes to the terms of the fight. So I'm just hoping that we get it in November. But the way Carpenter just sound, I don't know who to believe or what to believe. He said he ain't sold on it, and he broke the news yesterday.
So when we say the legalities on Errol Spence's side, now when Terence Crawford said that he agreed to no guaranteed money, could that be something on Errol Spence's side? That from what could they try to? I mean, could have offered both of them no guaranteed money and they get all their money on the back end? I don't know, but it's a whole bunch of shit, man, that's going on.
Facts. And another thing I wanted to say, don't take out of context that this is Canelo Triple G week too, y'all. So this shit coming out ain't coincidence.
Facts. I agree, OTV.
So like I said, man, I believe, right, regardless of what Mike Carpenter just saying, I believe that if Terence Crawford is saying that he signed his portion of the contract, he done on his end, I believe that Errol Spence is going to sign his portion, if he hasn't already signed it. Because Errol Spence, he's the one that directly work with the people, them his people. Right. So if anything, he done signed already. or he would have, you know what I'm saying? Oh, he gonna sign. He was waiting on Terence Crawford. I don't know, but
I want to say this right quick, and I'm gonna let you pass it on for somebody else to cook. Now you know next weekend he's gonna be at the Shakur fight, and you know he's gonna be asked that question.
Mm-hmm.
Is everything is a done deal for November? Because you know they're gonna interview him. You know that they're gonna interview him the whole entire week, because he's probably in camp with Shakur.
Right.
So we better get everything we need to get leading up to if it go down in November. That's what I'm waiting on next week and next Saturday.
Yeah, you right. You right.
Facts.
They gonna be on his helmet about this shit. So yeah, you right. And what's happening with it? What's good with it, Ricky Williams? My man, Knockout Boxing 86 TV says, so weeks ago, Bernie was making the argument that Bud deserves 50-50. Now he's saying that Bud accepted 65-35 weeks ago. The man contradicts himself every time he goes live. Yeah, that's all. I mean, that's all I'm saying. If you hear what I'm saying, and I'm just saying exactly what he's saying, I mean, all you got to do is put 2 and 2 together. But you know, like I said, I can't say that he's lying. I can't say that the man is telling the flat out lie, because I've only heard from his side. I haven't heard from Errol Spence's side. So it is what it is, you know. Just as long as we get the fight, that's my main concern. But Lord to the game, Kwame, what's happening, man? What's your take on everything that I said that Bernie said? You know, saying that he relaying the message from Bud Crawford himself.
I believe the deal is done, and they're very salty about the deal because they went in all these years talking about 60-40 or no fight, 50-50 us, and they got caught in the game of chicken with Showtime and Al Heyman, and they lost because nobody wants to pass up a big ass payday like that, because the facts remain that who the fuck else he gonna fight? He got no one to fight. The zone didn't want to pick him up. He has no opponent. So what's he gonna do? Pass up on the biggest payday of his career? No. So I just believe that they're salty about it, and Bernie's just kind of embellishing what he heard. I think when he said no guarantee, I think it's a figure of speech, meaning like, 5 million or 6 million guaranteed compared to what ESPN was giving them, is they're gonna say that's no guarantee for a fight of this magnitude. I mean, you had to be a 100% idiot to believe that the biggest fight in the sport of boxing, that one of the boxers is gonna get no guaranteed money. That doesn't even make any sense logically. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, they're salty. The deal is signed, is done. They're salty, and they're trying to control the narrative on what's going on. They always say that the weakest person in the room is the loudest person in the room. We know this, and I'm just talking about in this negotiation. You don't hear no one from Spence side talking. It's always coming from that side. And I feel like they tried to make their run for Canahan to negotiate for them, but he got in trouble and they can't use him. And they went in there with, no one who has an inkling of the intelligence as an Al Heyman and Steven Espinoza and Showtime to represent them. So they could say what they want in terms of how they feel what they deserve, but at the end of the day, the financier, the person who's cutting the check, is ultimately in control, and the PBC and Showtime is in control. And I just feel that they're a little bitter about it, and they didn't get what they wanted. So now they're gonna go from, now that they can't control the narrative of, hey, I was going to get 50-50 or whatever, and they getting less money. So now it's going back to the macho shit, like, oh, well, he's scared. He didn't sign the contract, or we waiting on him. So, hey, I don't give a fuck. I just want to see them fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm so excited. I always knew the fight was going to happen, and I just want to talk about who's going to win and how they're going to win. Because at the end of the day, all this shit is just, propaganda, and the fight's going to happen, and, that's it.
Yeah, I've always said when it comes to the 60, it's salute Blue. I've always said when it came to the 65-35, I said it in my video I made today. Yeah, I believe that he did that the split was 65-35, because that's the split that he deserved to get. He got what he deserved when it came to the split. Yeah, I mean, when you look at the body of work, when you look at the landscape of the pay-per-views, the asses in the seats, and who's done what in the competition, 65-35 sounds absolutely right. That's right. That's what it should have been. But as far as the no guarantee money at all, I don't believe that he, you know what I'm saying, would agree,
I agree with that.
I also don't
agree
believe
with that.
I also don't believe that he would agree to, if I beat you and now I'm disputed and I got all the belts and everything on my side, that I have to turn back around and now I still have to agree to be the B side. I don't believe that he would agree to both of those things.
I agree.
Well, I would you say
that's too dangerous, man. That's too dangerous. That's too real. Okay, start, man. I just had to say it because I'm looking at it from my opinion, man. Again, salute to the panel, man. You know, ETB, OTB,
salute,
man. Yo, everybody in the chat, man, for real, knockout. Hey, so I'm looking at it from two different angles. So you got the business side and you got the competitive side. I believe that EJ and Bud have some type of respect for each other. They understand the hustle just like anything else. You know what I'm saying? And I think they want to fight. I'm looking at it from like, okay, I believe I think the date's solid. I do. November is perfect. But I think that with them putting out, you know, just the other narrative as far as if Bud does that, just from a competitive standpoint, I don't think EJ could even live with seeing another brother he about to go beat up on that he don't get shit, guaranteed. Like, you know, because we all bros and we'll pull out whatever we got in our pocket to make sure somebody's solid just in the agreement. And so I'm just looking at that like, I'm like, okay, if EJ accept that, okay, what Bud gonna get? So Bud is actually accepting to go in there with a dude who broken 2 sockets and could change you forever.
Let me say something real quick, Swag. I hate it because I keep seeing people pop up in the comments saying that Ugas got 50-50, this and that. Ugas got this. Okay, all right. I'm gonna let you know right now.
None of that shit matter.
Drop a credible link. Drop me a credible link in the chat right now showing me that your Danish Ugas got the same amount of money that Errol Spence did, and I'll cut the live off right now. I'll cut the live off right now. I promise you I will. Drop a link in the chat. You can't just come in here and just say some shit because it sounds good for your argument.
We can say anything.
You know what I'm saying? Drop a link in the chat and I'll stop the whole show right now and I'll cut it.
Say anything.
I'll shut it down.
Key, and the funny thing is, the fraudulent link that they talking about even showed that the pay-per-view split, even in a language, when they said 50-50, it showed total payout didn't equal 50-50. So, you know, it's so ridiculous.
That shit redundant by now, man.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
It's about okay, check it out. Like straight up, back to straight up, okay. All right, we love Bud. I love Bud and I love EJ. Is EJ my favorite fighter? Yeah, but see, I love brothers and I love just who we are as people, and I love athletes. So when you think about on the business side, okay, we're gonna let Bud go in there and not get no guarantee. like really, you know what I mean? So and seeing Bud, so you ain't no guarantee 65-35. And I'm not trying to say the date ain't what it is because I want to see the shit too. But I'm just saying, I think we got a little bit more time with that negotiation wrinkling out that shit because I just don't see both of them like that being real. And then even in the rematch, come on, man, the rematch, you ain't getting nothing out of that either. Man, I'm sorry, I'm 40. Like, and I'm 38. That's a lot accolades. 35, man, and I ain't getting shit.
Like I said,
a lot of accolades for me, y'all. Like, you going into that fight being 2 division undisputed champion. Yeah, I mean, the only male to do so, only Clarissa Shields have done so. So you understand, to go into that fight with another 65-35 split. But he has also got guaranteed money and made his last 2 quality business decisions based off of guaranteed money. So allow that to be taken into context as well. So I mean, I don't know.
Well, I think, you know, also, just to play devil's advocate.
And Bob Arum lost money on that. We know that. My bad, Kwame. My bad, bro.
Yeah. Just to play devil's advocate, I wouldn't I can't say 100%. I don't believe the whole rematch thing because if we take a look at Devin Haney and Kambosos, I mean that's what's going on over there, and that's what happens when you go into the lion's den with, with rabbits negotiating for you. You can't go in there with straight killers. You know what I'm saying? Someone that maybe someone who went to community college to negotiate for you against someone, a Harvard lawyer. You know what I'm saying? That's like you going into court. One person's represented by a Harvard lawyer, the other person's represented by the same place for Better Call Saul or something. So we don't know actually with the rematch clause because business at the end of the day is business, and regardless of what happens with this fight, like I said before, Terence Crawford don't have no one to make a big fight with where they can make a lot of money. He needs Errol Spence. So you never know if the language in the contract is like, hey, if I lose, hey, I may have lost the fight. I may have lost the fight, but technically, from a number standpoint, I'm still the A side. I'm still the A side. Period. Because I bring the fans. I bring in the revenue. But in regards to, and I'm just playing devil's advocate because I don't know. But business is like that. It's not too far off for that to actually be a fact. But
No, it is.
but in regards to the no guaranteed money, that just sound like the game of telephone where Bernie got a message, right?
Yeah.
And then it got because he took it personal because all the shit he been saying over the internet about Earl and this and that, and being Bud's sidekick or his mouthpiece. He probably was in his feelings and embellished shit. Maybe Bud told him it was 55-45, and the nigga just got mad and said, it's 65-35, and no guarantee, and just to keep the upper hand to the fans, because everything they've done so far has been. If you just take a look at both sides, their side has been the most inconsistent side on so many fronts. Wanting to fight, not wanting to fight, all this stuff, and maybe just to save face. That's the stuff that they said. So, like I said before,
Man,
Well, as far as the business
let
go,
me chime in when y'all get a chance.
we also did just see him with the likes of Jay-Z, Floyd Mayweather, 50 Cent. I don't know if you understand that. Now, I ain't the brightest person in the world, but I'm to take in the context that you understand these was business relations. So
right.
I don't know that he wasn't advised that may have been the best that he could get, which we had already discovered. You understand?
Right. I mean,
When I look at the I pay attention to patterns, right? And one thing that I picked up from Bud, just based on the patterns that he leave with his mouth and the ones he let Bernie leave, is they are narrative pushers. They care more about the narrative than things actually happening. You know what I'm saying? Because if you listen to everything he just said, how many times he just stuck his foot in his mouth, how much crazy stuff Bernie be saying, because I got a lot of friends that's Crawford fans, and they don't listen to Bernie because they feel like he a clown. You know what I mean? And I actually like Bernie knowledge of boxing, but if you pay attention to the patterns, bro, they say stuff because they say what they want you to believe. You know what I'm saying? And so Bernie, what he gonna do is he gonna take whatever they say or what the narrative, and he gonna put his little spin on it because he has the permission to, which is why Bud handed him his phone and let him introduce himself to the world. You know what I'm saying? So when he come out saying, oh, it's 65-35, because I had somebody asking me if, because I watched this live too yesterday, and I had somebody ask me today, man, they say Bud got to weigh in 3 times. And see, he was hinting towards that in his live, but he wasn't saying it, but he was indirectly saying it through saying different stuff. But he was saying all that to say, like, you know what I'm saying? They had to give in to the demands, but if you just pay attention to their whole pattern, bro, you can't believe really nothing that they say, man.
Yeah, that's why I'm just ready to see the fight. Yeah, at this point because we in the fourth quarter now, so it's like the narrative shit to me don't even matter. Let's just fight
Right.
and talk about who gonna whoop who ass.
Yo, I think I think the date right, man. Well, this is just my opinion, right? Because we all up here giving that. So I think the date right. But I think that EJ and Bud about to bust the whole can open when it comes to the business of boxing.
during
I think it's
during
the
the press conference.
opportunity. I think it's the opportunity. Yeah, just like think about it. Like, okay, put it like this. Like we all say for instance, we all got a hustle. We all got a thing that we do. There just so happened to be fighting. Boxing been getting done wrong for so long, but see, we ain't had a long of this magnitude. I can't remember, but it's been it's been a while. And I mean, even Floyd and Manny was the last one, but I kind of felt like it was past the prime. But that don't mean it wasn't a good fight. But this one is prime. And these boys out here want their money. And I just really feel like it's about to just burst open the Pandora box with this boxing business. That's what I feel though. That don't mean I'm right. And what I'm saying is not fact. That's my hope.
Are you saying that they about to bust open the box during the press? Like they about to spill the beans on what really was going on?
No. Well, yeah,
Okay.
like not even spill the beans, like just flex the system. Like, okay, because think about it, like you getting all these groundbreaking numbers and I'm not comparing boxing to NFL. It's a whole nother entity.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, but they got to do something to get paid because they the ones getting hurt the most. And with no insurance, come on, we got to get some dollars in all of this. So I'm hoping they got that hustler side of where they come up together. Because now with the world buzzing, because the reason what made me catch it was that Crawford was coming out everywhere. Sean put a podcast, just things like that. If you've been following for a while, he don't do that. He just a regular dude from Nebraska, and I love Nebraska. But he ain't never been flamboyant like that. But
yeah, the Showtime interview as well.
But that's what I'm saying. So, but EJ just do it with his personality. It ain't like he flamboyant either. Dude, just different, man. That just really, and you want to see him. So now that these two come together, they got both of the fan bases, but they even got Hispanics and all these other people around too. Like, and then that's what I'm saying. So it ain't me. In fact, all them scenarios and all those caveats to the whole storm, I just think they about to these promoters and marketers about to try to make something happen with and make it big and make it.
I agree, bro. Yeah, I agree on the context. I agree on the context that it starts a ripple effect where betting on yourself,
absolutely,
you understand, is the benefit to the fighter. And if we can put betting on yourself, you understand, to the financial benefit of your fighter, a la Devin Haney and Cambosis, you understand, then we have Bud do the same, and he's successful. Then shit, I think that could cause a ripple effects on boxing. Go ahead, bro.
I don't know. I don't agree with that. And the reason I don't agree with that is for a couple reasons. Number one, Floyd and Manny, I mean, from a revenue perspective, is the highest pay-per-view boxing or combat sports event in the history of sports. Number one, we talk about two guys who are great fighters, but in the era that we dealing with a streaming era where where executives are feeling like 500,000 pay-per-view buys is a win because of streaming. So I don't think they have any leverage with anything, with anything, zero. They don't. Both of these guys, like you say, they're not big promoters of themselves. They're for the most part out of the limelight. They're not like Floyd showing Lamborghinis, women, cars, all that stuff. They're not doing that. So I think we just in a place where these two guys, where we're gonna win as fans is that I just believe it's gonna be a great fight. Just based on a stylistic matchup. I mean, we've never seen Errol Spence in a fight where he's not pushing the pace or throwing a lot of punches or in an action-packed fight. We've never seen it. And Terence Crawford, we haven't seen him in a fight for a long time where he hasn't knocked anyone out. So there's a style clash, there's a mentality clash, there's a lot on the line, and hopefully both of these brothers make as much money as possible. Now that's up to us, the public, to actually pay for the fight. Because we got people who gonna come in the chat and do all this talk. We got people who got blisters on their thumbs for the last 4 years of talking shit about both sides that'll still turn around and scream to fight.
I got a question. I got a question for you. So you for sure it's gonna happen?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen. I mean, nothing's for sure because I'm not there.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is, as a fan, right? We all trying to land this plane. The date that came out, I think, is right. And we do want to see the fight. I agree with you, for real. For real. My brother, I listen to you. You know what you're talking about. I'm not even in advance as you are with this shit. But what I know as a fan, man, it's not sitting well in my heart with that the verbiage of the contract.
You don't need to worry about that.
But you know what I'm saying?
That's why I
feel like I don't really give a fuck about it.
You got to think about this, right? With boxing, right? First, the thing that comes out first is term sheets and terms. That's what happens. And then once the terms are agreed on, which is what they announced, then they got to go back and then they have to fix the language in the contract. This is normal. Everyone,
that's what I get that, but that's what I'm saying. That's the part that I'm saying we agree on. We definitely do, because I agree with that. When you see with most of the fans, you see everybody worried about it. So that's what I'm saying. I'm with you.
I'm not worried.
I think it's gonna happen.
Yeah. I'm not worried about it.
I mean, and the thing is, the date I'm not really worried about. It's just the verb, but I get what we saying.
I was saying this. With Bernie coming out and saying that it's happening and terms are agreed and shit like that, it's happening. I mean, he wouldn't come out and say that. They won't say it because it's like, it's Earl is scared. Now it's like, oh shit, it's happening. But let me find another narrative. Earl is scared. He won't sign. This shit is going.
See, that's what I was trying to say earlier. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Let me find another narrative.
Yeah, exactly, brother. And you nailed it when you said, they're great at narratives. It's a narrative. I'm not worried about it, bro. They gonna fight.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this, right? Because I'm sorry to break the news to y'all, right? And everything that we've been talking about, but I got a call right now with some with one of the higher ups. Like I said, I don't talk about the people that I know, but one of the higher ups that's actually right involved with these negotiations. And I'm sorry to break the news to y'all. No. Hold on. Let me talk. But right is right and wrong is wrong. And they tried to fuck Terence Crawford. All that shit that Bud and his team came out and said that shit's true. They tried to give him 65-30. He would not try. They gave him 65-35. They gave him no upfront money in a rematch. He is the B side in the rematch clause.
Damn.
Is that wrong?
Did not say shit when he whoop his ass.
Is that wrong?
Nothing.
Let me finish. This don't have nothing to do with Errol Spence and Derek James and his team. This is all the higher ups. Al Heyman, Steven Espinoza in that side. That's what it is. So Bernie, the things that he said, it's the truth. It's not a lie. So that's what they did. And Crawford, he felt like that, they kind of backed him in the corner and he ain't really had no choice. They tried to, talk him out of doing it, but he said, nah, I just, I'm sick of going back and forth and I just want to beat this nigga ass. That's just what it come down to. And like I said, this has nothing to do with Errol Spence and him wanting this. So now, with this being said, I would love to know how Errol Spence feels about this situation. Because me, honestly, I'm gonna keep it 100. I don't give a fuck about what nobody think. I'm gonna keep it 100. I think that's some bullshit. I don't think that they should have did Terence Crawford like that, right? Because 65-35 is cool, but to tell the man we're not giving you no upfront money, and you gotta be the B side if you become undisputed. To me, hold on, let me finish, Kwame. To me, that's not fair, right? Y'all know how I do. I call it straight down the middle all the time. I don't change my stripes for nobody. To me, that is not fair. I'm not feeling that. But you know what I'm saying? He felt that he really didn't have no choice. Y'all got to think of, you know, the other promoters saying that they don't want to fuck with him, and everything else that's been going on up to this point. He feel like that he don't really have no choice in that. You know, he just went ahead and did it.
Well,
You
And
know,
I signed off on. I think that was Steven, man. That's
so
all
Steven.
right,
so
let,
so
let me.
so but hold on, let me finish. Let me
I'm
finish.
gonna let Keith
So
finish.
one thing you got to go back to though, right? One thing you got to go back to, and I told from people that's been watching me for a long time, for a
I know.
long time. I've
I know
been
where you're
saying
going.
this. I've been saying this for a long, long time. And I said it before they even, you know what I'm saying, when way
Yep.
back in 2019 and 2020, I said this.
Yep.
I said, look, I said, you can't go around
Yep.
saying, fuck Al Heyman, fuck the
Uh-huh.
PBC.
Yep.
I said, because when they go sit down and they have to do business together, when it's time to do business together,
Yep.
they're going to remember that. I said, they're going to remember that. And don't be surprised if they take that into account when they do business with him. And I think that this is a case of that. I think that,
Yep.
this is a case of them knowing that the things that him and his team have said about them. And I think now they're like, okay, well, now you got to come and you got to come to us. And now
Yep.
you need us. So you either going to take this. We know the deal is fucked up, but you're going to take it, or you can go about your motherfucking business. And I think that's what they did. You got to put a lot of the blame on his
Bomac.
manager and his trainer.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Bomac.
saying.
You got to put a lot of the blame on Bomac. Like I said, Terence Crawford himself did not come out in public and say these things,
Yep.
but he said it behind the scenes. But that's neither here nor there. But Bomac, his
Yeah.
manager that does business for him,
Yep.
he's the one that was saying these things out in the open about the people that you are now doing
Bernie
business
too.
with. Also, they
Yep.
tried to, his lawyers and everybody tried to get Terence Crawford not to take this deal, but he
Salute,
decided,
Kawhi.
you know what? I want the fight. I want to take it. I'm sick of it. And it's really, if you look at the landscape, what else is he gonna do? So like I said, this right now, this is for Terence Crawford's legacy, because we can no longer run around and say that he's doing it for money and all of that, because the money ain't fair and it ain't right. So, y'all can take that shit how you want to. You can believe me or you don't, but I don't have no reason to come on up here and lie. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no reason to lie. And these are the
And
facts of the situation. That's
I
what
believe.
really went down.
I believe
I
that,
Well,
bro.
believe.
I
Once you
believe
say
I
that, I
believe.
believe it. You don't cross
I
no
was
nigga from
I
Ohio.
believe it
I,
too, but I feel like
I've
he
lived
painted
John
himself in
King
that
got the
corner.
body.
yep. That's exactly what I was going to say, Key.
Yeah, he
You beat
painted
me
himself
to
in
it.
that corner. You let Bernie do all this talking. You let Bo Mac disrespect everybody in the public. See, you can't burn bridges on the way up and then on the way down think you're not fit to see them same people, bro.
can
That's
Facts.
I
probably why he took the
can I
fight.
say
See,
something?
that's how you know he do got somebody real in his corner, because somebody was like, listen, this is the predicament. This is how we set it up due to the fact that we're doing all of this talking and narrative pushing, and this what we finna have to accept if you're trying to do this. So what you want to do? You know what I'm saying? And that's why he took it.
Well, I got good
Can I
news
say
out of
something?
that. I'm
Me
gonna be real
too.
quick, Coach. You know
God
what the
damn.
best news I? You know what the best news I got out of that, Keon? Is the
What's
fight
that?
is happening. Is the fight is
Yeah,
happening.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
give a fuck about the rest of it. Go ahead, Coach.
Unless he takes it, unless he retract
How
at the
many
last minute.
times?
But other than that, the fight happening, you know.
How many times I done said on your platform, Keon? This shit gone before the Ugas fight. I said if Earl beat Ugas, Terence Crawford gonna be a problem, right?
I remember you
Because of
saying
the
that too.
fact, because of the fact he got people in his house steadily talking shit about Al Heyman, the money man, his corporation, and all of this shit, and
Yep.
Errol Spence living paycheck to paycheck, and all of this bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And you burn, just like you said, you burn bridges on your way up, and you knowing that if you want to be undisputed champion of the world, you have to do business with these people, and you steadily talking shit and downing them, and
Yep.
giving big ups to fucking Bob Arum, who put the wood to your ass. You understand? And so I hope they got a lesson that they learned from this shit. You understand? I hope they learned the fucking lesson from this shit. Because you sit here and you talk bad about another brother who you know you got to do business with if you want to be undisputed. Even if you go to 154, the undisputed up there is the champion from PBC.
And let me make this clear once again, right? KD, I said that I don't think it's fair, right? I don't like that he got to take a deal like that to get it to make this fight happen because fair is fair, and if it ain't fair, it's not fair. Hold on, coach. If it ain't fair, it ain't fair. So I'm not giving Al Heyman a pass, but what I am telling you is you can't shit on a man and then turn around and expect him to do up and up fair business with you. You can't do that. That's all I'm saying. So I understand why they doing the business, but do I like the way that they doing him? No, because it ain't fair. But I understand why they doing it.
And it's not only that; it's business.
Right, it's business.
They are in business to make money. They're not in business to lose money. They're in business to make money. And if they can get in a business, is going to do the best deal that they can. If they fuck you, they fuck you.
Yep.
Right.
But
hey, lesson to the youth, man. Lesson to the youth.
It didn't help that Bomac and Bernie and all of them talking a bunch of shit about Al Heyman and
called that man a devil and everything.
And fuck Al Heyman and them niggas over there ain't doing this and they ain't doing that and Errol Spence living paycheck to paycheck. Nah, it's gonna come back to you, bro. It's gonna come back to you. Instead of stay respectful and don't burn no bridges, he probably would have got a better deal. You understand?
See, and I'm gonna tell y'all something that I peeped too, man. That Pacquiao fight might have messed everything up because his attitude and their team attitude when they thought they was getting that fight, you know what I'm saying? That's when they really turned up with the man boo boo shit talking like type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't want the fight. Now I don't need him. I don't need this. I don't need that. But then if you recall, right after Errol pulled out the Pacquiao fight, then you tweeted him talking about, well, I guess we need each other. See, that's why I don't listen to them, man. Y'all push narratives. Y'all say y'all don't want the fight. Y'all say y'all do want the fight. You know what I'm saying? Y'all say Errol's scared. Then you turn around and say he really do want the fight. He's not ducking me. See, after I'm a man, bro, all I got is my balls and my word. So once I give you my word and then I go against that, bro, I can't expect for you. It's all action after that. That's why I'm glad he took the fight because that do more for his character as far as how it look. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Bomac and his fat ass. That's what he needs to do.
I don't know that the difference wasn't gonna get him nothing but an extra 5%.
Well, I would just say,
I think he's still gonna get more money than he ever had.
I don't think it was gonna be no better than 60-40. So
I agree. No, I agree with Coach 1,000% with what he just said about Bomac, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because none of this shit would have happened if they didn't stay with Top Rank. Top Rank, they went and re-signed with Top Rank after they openly came out and said they killed the Pacquiao fight for Terence Crawford back then. If Terence Crawford would have got the Pacquiao fight back then, he would have been the A side in every fight going forward. You know what I'm saying? So this is the thing. You know, when it comes with, I had to learn this the hard way, working in corporate America. When there's no emotions in business. There's no emotions in business at all. Black people is like, we like to be emotional. Well, you know, when you're dealing with the man and dealing with money, it's the music business, anything. Hey, you know, we trying to do the best for us. And if you're going to be, you know, if a person is, for instance, you see everyone who fights with PBC for the most part, except for Canelo as the exception, because he's a walking cash machine, right? Everyone else signs a deal with Al Heyman, Prograde, all these guys, they do it. These guys adamantly showed that it was something personal with Al Heyman. Instead of this, after the Sean Porter fight, going to Al Heyman, going to PBC, doing things, making it easy. They went to try to get Canahan. They went to do this. They went to do that. And now, at the last moment, you know, in the fourth quarter, now you walking in there, like I said, with a Harvard economics graduate and a guy in Steven Espinosa These two guys worked together to put on the top 4 pay-per-view boxing pay-per-views in the history of the sport. These guys did that together. And now you coming in there with a bad attitude and you don't have no numbers to back it up. The shit that means something to them. Because the rest of this shit don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? It don't. And you coming in there with 50,000 pay-per-views, 135 pay-per-views. You have 3 pay-per-views that don't add up to one of Errol Spence's pay-per-views. Hey, you should have been respectful on your way through the door. That's just my personal opinion. You should have been respectful. But I'm gonna close out with this. You know what? All the Bud fans, right? This is what they said. We accountants, 60-40. Why are you pocket watching? We ain't pocket watching no more. The fight's announced. It's not announced, but the fight's on. I'm not worried about his deal. I'm not worried about Errol Spence's deal. Let's fucking fight.
Yo, man.
Hear
I
shit
agree with
when
you
he
100%.
fuck him up.
Hey, I wanted to say this, man, because I was just hearing everybody. Yo, I'm even more excited now because okay, EJ, you know, it is what it is. It's solid. Okay, so with Bud, I got EJ coming. I do. That's my personal opinion. But I thought EJ motivation was like real high. But now, if I'm a grown man and I accept that, and he might be arrogant to Al Heyman, and I can see that. And yeah, it came back and bit him in his ass as far as doing paperwork right now.
Just an extra chip on the shoulder.
But I'm saying, as a fighter though, he ain't gonna admit to that shit. He gonna go down in his soul, and he gonna try to pull that shit out on top. he gonna be more motivated now.
You know he is.
I'm glad though.
That's got to be good, man.
You know he is. That's an extra chip.
No,
That's an extra chip.
I'm telling y'all right now, this gonna make Terence Crawford more dangerous. This gonna make Terence, if he going in this motherfucker mad with a chip on his shoulder,
man,
make him more dangerous.
No, I disagree.
Nothing but an extra chip. Man, you crazy.
Keon,
nothing but an extra chip.
I disagree with
the trainer
you,
that already said you got to be better. You got to go in the matrix. Man, I got, goddamn it, this extra chip on my shoulder, and we playing merry-go-round. Man, come on, man.
Keon, I disagree.
Be in the corner crying like you about to fight when you were a kid or something like that.
You big, man. You got to take it back to that.
Here's the thing. The reason I disagree with that is because in boxing, it's not about emotion. Look, ain't nothing gonna be any different. I feel like with them getting in the ring. If we go by anything with that shit happening right there, that just means Bud to me is more prone to get into a dogfight with Errol Spence, which ain't gonna favor him.
Right.
I'll tell you, a dogfight. He done stopped his last 10 opponents.
Like I said, this we not finna just brush Bud off and act like that.
Come on, man.
He don't have no chance to win this fight.
I
I got EJ winning still, but like I'm saying, when a man come in the ring with a chip on his shoulder and you know what I'm saying, already mad and shit, he has. You know what I'm saying? He already got motivation. Like he got more motivation. Training and going through everything.
Let Keith finish.
Yeah, so you don't think that Errol Spence have extra motivation from being called?
I'm not no fanatic. I'm a fan of boxing. Right. I don't have to be a fanatic of now one of these niggas. I'm just saying, y'all niggas need to chill, bro. I'm just saying that the way that I feel if you do a man wrong, right, and he feels some type of way, his whole training camp, right, he got that shit on his mind. He's training hard.
I feel Keon. But all I'm saying is this, Keon, in regards to that. What makes that any difference for Errol Spence and all the disrespect he endured for the last 4 years coming from his team?
Did anybody say that Errol Spence don't have a chip on his shoulder already?
No, I'm not. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying
nobody said that. I'm just saying that. I think that this gives Errol Spence. This gives Terence Crawford an even bigger chip on his shoulder than what he already had. That's all I'm saying. I'm not talking about what Errol Spence had, the chip he has on his shoulder. I'm talking solely about what I feel that Terence Crawford, it makes him more dangerous because now he gonna go through his whole training camp pissed off and training harder, and he got a chip on his shoulder.
He got a lot of
he got a lot riding on his back because he know even if I do win, I still got to fight this man again, and I still got to take less money. That's a lot.
I feel like even with that chip, see, it could be a gift and a curse. Yeah, it can work during training camp, but the man who is less disciplined and who uses emotion in the ring is the one who's gonna lose.
My point, exactly.
So if he come in the ring with, of course, he's not gonna just have that on his mind. But if he start getting down in the fight and he try to dig deep and then remember all of that and do all that, he's prone to make mistakes that he probably wouldn't make if he came into the fight just on some mastermind type of stuff. So I feel like it's a gift during training camp, but it could be a curse during the fight.
Right, Nardi. And all I'm saying is this: when if Errol Spence gets hit by Terence Crawford during the fight and he gets in trouble, or Terence Crawford gets hit by Errol Spence in the fight, he gets in trouble. At that time, no one's going to be thinking about the deal they took or whatever it is. It's going to come down to motherfuckers fighting, point blank, period. And it may sound like, hey, he got an extra chip on his shoulder and all that. And it give him an extra charge in his battery to go into the fight and be more dangerous.
Say that it don't.
It does.
But how can we hold on a second? How can we get there's no one on this panel that can guarantee just because he got this news when he gets in the fight, he gonna be more dangerous. Wow. That's all I'm saying. After a while, there's no way.
There's no guarantee.
There's no way to prove that.
But it's not about. Kwame, hold on. You're saying that, right? But that's really not saying nothing, Kwame. You said, "Oh well, we can't guarantee that Errol Spence is giving him an extra chip on his shoulder." All the shit that Terence Crawford's team, so we can say it both ways.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Really not saying nothing.
No, Key. Listen to what I'm saying, Key. I agree with what you're saying on that regard too. That's where I'm saying that hearing this news. To me, it don't really change anything. That's what's gonna go into the fight. Where everybody's like, oh, he's gonna be more dangerous because he's going there.
That's to you. But you know what I'm saying? That's to you. But just like you speculate certain things, right? People gonna speculate. Like, damn, this is gonna make Terence Crawford even train harder. This is, you know what I'm saying? This gonna put a bigger chip on his shoulder because it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? If you do somebody wrong and they feel that they've been done wrong, that shit gonna make them mad. That's gonna make them want to prove you. You know what I'm saying?
And that's gonna lead to him wanting to get in a firefight.
That's what it is.
And that's gonna lead to him wanting to get in a firefight. And Errol Spence gonna pull out the fire hose on that boy because he ain't really no firefight with Errol Spence.
At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Everybody on this motherfucking panel can talk shit and say what they want to say. I can say what I want to say. Kwame can say, Swad Jones, OTB, Nardi, everybody can say whatever they want to say. Ain't none of us getting in the ring and fight for now one of these dudes. They have to get in the ring, right? And don't nobody on here know who's going to win the fight. That's just what it is. And they can say, oh man, it's this and that. Don't none of us know who's going to win the fight until that motherfucking final bell rings and somebody getting their hand raised. I
got one thing to say. Now I'm gonna go back to this. I remember Bob Arum coming out and saying, and at first I did just think he was hating because Terence Crawford left, but he says I don't know if Terence Crawford could win based on his mental state. This dude has been through a lot of stuff mentally with the negotiations and all this stuff. So is there any credence? Is there any credence to that? Because the stuff we're talking about now is mental. When you saying that this guy got shafted and he's going to go in there with extra this or extra that.
I didn't say he was going to go in there and do a motherfucking thing. I said he could. I said he could go through training with a chip on his shoulder.
That's what I'm saying.
That can make him want to train harder. That can make him want to prove everybody wrong. Stop putting words in my mouth. I didn't say he was going to go in the ring and do a motherfucking thing.
So what my question,
stop putting words in my mouth.
Well, maybe I misphrased what you said, but my question is not.
What I said because y'all so steadfast on everything got to be for Errol Spence. Everything got to be for Errol. I'm not on that type of shit, bro. I'm just talking. I'm talking about what's going on from both sides. That's it.
All I'm doing is posing a question in
That's
regards
so
to.
don't tell me that I'm saying, oh, he gonna go in the ring and he gonna do this. No, that's not what I said.
But that's not even the question.
I said a man having to go through all of that could make him more dangerous. That could make him want to train harder and have a chip on his shoulder.
And that's exactly what I'm addressing. If I listen, hold on, Key. If I misquoted what you said, my bad. But that's what I'm addressing with the question I'm asking. With him having a chip on his shoulder, you can't have a chip on your shoulder without you using your brain, your mind. That's mental. So my question to you is there any relevance based on what we are seeing and what's being reported that maybe Bob Arum is correct in that regard with what he said?
Bob Arum can't get in the ring and fight for Terence Crawford nor Errol Spence. I don't know. That's really not even relevant to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know because Bob Arum said some shit now that Terence Crawford is not with him no more. Bob Arum would never said no shit like that if Terence Crawford was with him. We know that.
I got a question for you, Key. Can you hear me?
Like I said, my stance is I still got Errol Spence beating him. When I break the fight down, I don't see Terence Crawford. Like when we get into the logistics of the fight, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I was going to ask.
Down, I have Errol Spence winning the fight.
Me too.
But like I said, just because I have the fight going to Errol Spence, it don't mean that Terence Crawford can't win the fight.
What was your deciding factor? Like, do you have a deciding factor in the fight, Key? That's what I want to ask you.
Do I got what?
Like a deciding factor, like when this happened, this is gonna happen, and that's gonna be the beginning of the end type. You know what I'm saying? Theory on how Errol gonna win the fight, or do you just have him flat out winning with no?
No, so my thing, the reason that I've always picked Errol Spence to win the fight is, for one reason, is Terence Crawford has problems with fighters that got very good jabs. You can go to the fight with Terence Crawford and Kell Brook or Edson Velasquez, or you can even go to the fight with David or Jose Benavidez, right? He have a problem early with fighters that have a good jab, but what he does is he'll switch to southpaw to confuse them, to negate their jab, right? And they're not able to do anything about that. But Errol Spence is a southpaw. So when he switches to southpaw, I don't think that he can out southpaw a southpaw, right?
Out that shit.
Also, right? One and I'm saying, right, this is what I'm saying, what I think how Errol Spence is gonna win. Now it are pluses for Terence Crawford that Errol Spence can't do, but we talking about, you know, the other end. Now, also when you look at Terence Crawford and how he fights on the inside, well, he don't fight on the inside. He can't really fight on the inside. You know what I'm saying? He like to hold you and grab you. Watching Errol Spence, I've never seen anybody keep him from getting on the inside. No, I've never seen anybody keep him on the outside the whole fight to where he can't get in his range to where he's comfortable and break your body down. So when he gets in the inside, like Sean Porter did, Terence Crawford was able to wrap Sean Porter up and hold him and then push him off because he was stronger than Sean Porter. I don't think he's going to be stronger than Errol Spence. They may be able to match strength, but I don't think he's going to be stronger than Errol Spence. And Errol Spence is such a great body puncher. He don't necessarily have to hit you in your ribs or your abdomen area. He going to hit you on your arms, your forearms, your elbows. He going to hit you anywhere that's open. He's going to hit you to break you down. Terence Crawford is not going to be able to grab him and just wrap him up because he's stronger than Errol Spence. Nah, I don't see that happening. Also, my other key factor is when Terence Crawford gets hit hard, a fight breaks out. Yeah, a fight is going to break out. And when a fight break out, right, and when they going all out, it's going to come down to who got more dog in them. Both fighters got a whole lot of dog in them. You know what I'm saying? But it's also going to come down to who has the better, like who's
more durable,
who's in better shape, who has the, you know what I'm saying, who has more stamina, right? And Errol Spence's punch output to me
Cruz,
When
he
he might
did.
break out his punch output, when he's in tip-top shape like he was with Ugas, like he was with Kell Brook and you know, in the past, when he's in tip-top condition like that, he don't stop punching. He goes, he go. And I've never seen Terence Crawford have to do that. So for Terence Crawford to have to do that and to keep up with Errol Spence for the first time, I think he's going to be in waters that he's not familiar with. So it's a lot of aspects. Now, one thing for Terence Crawford that Errol Spence can't do, Errol Spence got to be on his A game. He can't be rusty. He can't be missing body shots wide like we seen him do against Ugas and like we seen him do against Danny Garcia. His accuracy, everything got to be on point. Everything got to be on point, because if he's not on point, Terence Crawford is going to counter him, and getting countered by Terence Crawford is a lot different than getting countered by Sean Porter or some of these other fighters that he was in the ring with, because Terence Crawford is a lot more precise and he got a lot, his power is where he got a lot more power than the rest of them dudes. So that's how I see the fight going. But like I said, I have more things that I edge towards Errol Spence in this fight. That's why I'm picking Errol Spence to win this fight.
Damn,
Okay.
hell of a breakdown.
That's what I was looking for, bro. That's what I was looking for. Just listening to what's going on with the negotiations. And so do you think there's a possibility that when he gets hit hard or when he's being fleet of foot, and he's thinking about the crowd looking like he running, or he get hit and think about, you know what I'm saying, getting hit, do you think that the anger from the negotiations could play a part in that predicament, or no?
No, I think that the negotiations, right, and his anger is going to play a part in, you know,
Training camp. Okay. Yeah.
In his camp, like you training and you thinking about this shit. You might got this man poster, you looking at it like, this motherfucker that made me, you know, I'm going in here and I'm taking less money, I'm doing this, and it's just the intensity that you take upon when you train, right, to get you in better tip-top condition. That's all about the intensity. That's all I was saying. That a man like that that's bringing that type of intensity into a fight can be dangerous.
And boxing is mental. So everything
what they know,
mental
what fighters know is they have all that intensity built up, and then they know how to control it inside of that ring.
Right. Exactly. I would say, you know, just to add on to your breakdown, I agree with it 100%. I feel like the best chance that Terence Crawford has in this fight is to punch in between Errol Spence's punches, and if he can hurt Errol Spence in the process of doing that, then he has a chance on winning the fight. If Errol Spence is not buckled or wobbled or hurt, because you know Bud is a hell of a finisher once he gets you hurt, I feel like based on the output in the fight and just the size, I think it's going to be a very, very, very long night for Terence Crawford. But it could go either way, because it only takes one punch from Terence Crawford to get a fighter in trouble.
Facts. And we done seen both of these fighters get in trouble. And that's what make this fight so intriguing. So when Keith say a fight gonna break out, shit, you can bet on it. I ain't gonna hold you. You can bet on it. And
Go ahead, my bad.
Nah, go ahead, bro.
Oh man, I think that the even more intriguing than them getting hurt is the fact that the last time both of them got hurt, what they did afterward. That's what makes this fight so dynamic to me. Because when Crawford got clipped against Kaviaskis, man, he turned into the Terminator. And then when Errol got clipped against Ugas, man, he broke that boy whole face with a punch.
Me as a Bud fan, I ain't gonna hold you. That's what I'm gonna judge this fight off of. Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna be worried to see how Bud respond from to see how EJ respond from getting hit, because that's what I found impressive about, you understand, that last fight with Ugas. I feel like he took some shots that wasn't unnecessary. He had some ring rust. He hadn't been in the ring for a minute, so that's how I went near and dear. But when you seen him take that shot and then flip the switch, you understand, and you see that switch and you see the bulb go off in him, like, you understand, I don't care who you is, a fan of the other side of the ring, you gonna be worried until you see that, you understand, the response from that moment.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this: as a Crawford fan, somebody's gonna go on.
Go ahead,
I
bro.
was just gonna say real quick and see another thing. This is just my feelings. I'm not saying nobody else gotta feel the way that I feel. But another thing is that to me, hearing this news, it makes the fight even closer to me. I already had the fight very close, but it makes the fight even closer to me hearing the news because now, right, that shows me that Terence Crawford actually got the utmost confidence in himself, in his ability.
Right.
Really do believe that no matter what, he's better than Errol Spence and he could beat Errol Spence. Before I was like, nah, that you know what I'm saying?
Energy shifted.
Now he's trying to get a cash out. He don't really have confidence that he can beat Errol. Now it's showing me that he really do got that confidence in himself. And and confidence is everything, right, in the sport of boxing. Now, am I saying that Errol Spence don't have the same amount of confidence? No. But now it just makes it closer because now I know, okay, but he about that shit. He do really got that confidence that he got. And so it makes it that much closer to me.
Nah, I agree with that.
I'll say this. I never question his confidence. You know, when you could tell the measure of a man by body language. And when they met up in OKC, you know, especially when Errol was in the beginning, when Errol was telling Bud's homeboy or whatever, like to be quiet, and Bud was like, "Don't talk to him, talk to me." You can see it right there. I never believed there was a confidence thing ever with Terence Crawford wanting to take a fight or make a fight. You know, I just look at it in terms of matchups because you know with the fight coming up, you know, supposedly with matchups, I just believe that it's, you know, regardless of what people hear or go through or have to go through leading up to the fight, I mean it's gonna hold but so much weight until you get into the actual ring and you have to perform. Because like what Mike Tyson said, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the face. So, you know, so I'm just saying to myself, you know, regardless of what he had to endure or what the other side had to endure, once they get in there and people feel each other, they go through their feel out rounds and they start the fight. Let's just see how it goes. And it's very exciting because, you know, the fact of the matter is we haven't had a fight where fighters have been this close where it's truly 50-50 at the highest level in the actual sport, where as a fan of either fighter, you're saying my guy could either win or my guy could either lose.
Facts.
And I feel like that's what makes this fight so special because it you know, one person's game plan has to go the right way for it to happen, you know?
Right. Everybody got to execute. You know what I mean? And like you say, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Right.
And when it came to me breaking down that fight, you understand? That's what I came up with. Is, you understand? You got one fighter who predicated on one thing, that's the deficiency of the next fighter. You understand? As much as this is his benefit, is his deficiency as well when you're talking about the style of the fighter that's across the ring, and that's in both cases.
Damn, that was deep. Hey, so OTB, I got a question for you as a Bud fan. So when you combine Errol's punch output, because he's going to have to throw at least 800 punches to win the fight. So when you combine Errol's punch output with his body work, right, and then you put that with Bud, whose punch output has never really been that high as far as where Errol can take it, do you feel like if he stay on pace with Errol as far as the punch output and him taking the body work that he's going to take, if it lasts to the late rounds, do you think he's going to be in deep water, or do you think he's in shape enough to stay on the gas with it?
Well, first of all, I don't think
800
none of that.
High, bro.
Yeah, 800 is too high, bro. First of all, and I was going that direction anyway, because I was gonna say I don't expect Errol to have the exact same punch output that we used to him having. You understand? You got to respect the person that's on the other side of the ring who done stopped their last 10 opponents. And if you got any type of sense, then you have to disguise this jab that you lean on so heavily, which set up so much else within your game. You have to put the pressure on him to go first. We know Bud don't like to go first. So you have to put the pressure on him to go first, which is why I say, man, we could see a grade A chess match until the fight break out.
I agree with you on what you just said at the end about seeing a chess match to the fight break out. But Terence Crawford fans, and a lot of people say Errol Spence fight one way. So I'm not sure why people think all of a sudden now that Errol Spence ain't gonna throw a whole bunch of punches just because it's Terence Crawford.
Unless he don't throw a bunch of punches.
I think the first like 3 to 4 rounds, they're both gonna be real timid, feeling each other out. They're both gonna be real timid, feeling each other out. You know what I'm saying? A little bit here, a little bit there. Both fighters are not gonna just want to fucking jump out there in deep waters, right? But by the time the second half of the fight come, I think during 6, 7, 8, that's when the fight is going to break out. That's when the fans are going to get what we want to see.
You ain't lying. Once the queen off the board, the fight going to break out.
I think it's going to happen earlier than that.
Well, I think just based on Errol Spence's history, because I've seen him like get clipped. See, I have a different definition of hurt and it's clipped. You know what I'm saying? Clipped is when motherfucker got your attention. You still got your faculties together, but it's like, okay, I'm not going to run into another one of them. Hurt is when I'm retreating, about to get knocked out.
Right.
So I have seen Errol get clipped and continue forward. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen Bud get clipped and continue forward. So I think once they start exchanging and getting clipped, I think it's gonna go to somebody get knocked out.
I think Errol Spence definitely, and another reason I
see you get
I edge Spence is because I think he definitely got the stronger chin. I've seen Errol get hit with some big shots, and he'll smile at you. And, okay, let's turn up. You know what I'm saying? He like to get I ain't gonna say he like to get hit like that, but like. He likes that shit sometimes.
Take him to the next level.
At the shit. He'll laugh, and I don't see Terence Crawford responding to getting hit like that. You know what I'm saying? His response is nothing like that.
Well, I was worried about Errol's punch resistance after the accident until I seen the Ugas fight and the Danny Garcia fight, him getting clipped after the round by Danny, and then the Ugas fight when I broke down when he got hit with that right hand from Ugas. Is Ugas a knockout puncher? No, but his punch placement on that punch combined with Errol not looking, man, to me, that should have stanky legged him, even though he did buckle and fall into the rim, but that should have knocked his equilibrium off a little bit because Ugas is heavy, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't. He was still able to move how he needed to move. So in my opinion,
it's a response after
I agree, man. And we've never heard besides Errol Spence getting hurt by Emmanuel Larte, early on in his career, you know what I'm saying? We've never seen him hurt. We ain't never seen him hurt. You know what I'm saying? We've never seen him on stanky leg and shit like that. And we've seen Terence Crawford hurt one time like that. Igis Kavalauskas shit, to me, he wasn't really hurt. He just got, you know what I'm saying?
My bad, I got a call.
He got caught with a shot that stunned him real quick and he was cool. But when Gamboa was hurt to where, you know what I'm saying, he even admitted that he was hurt.
He was wobbly with Gamboa.
Yeah, he was wobbly with Gamboa. But so both of them got a whole lot of dog, but dog, this fight, I continue to tell people, is gonna come down to, you know what I'm saying, in the firefight, who got more dog in them and who is gonna be more precise. And who can fight at their range? Who can fight at their range? Can you keep Errol Spence on the outside and fight? Can you keep Errol Spence on the outside to where you can land on the end of your shots? Or is he going, you know what I'm saying? Or is he going to force you to have to fight inside where you're not comfortable? It's going to come down to a lot of, technical things. And like I said, I see it playing out for Errol Spence. But Am I gonna be nervous watching this fight? You know what I'm saying? Seeming that I am going for EJ, yeah, I'm gonna be nervous. You know what I'm saying? But am I gonna be surprised if Terence Crawford pulls it out? No, I won't be surprised, but I will be surprised if Terence Crawford stopped Errol Spence. I don't see that happening. You know, a lot of
Hey,
people
Q.
he's stopping Errol Spence. I don't see that happening, but I could see Errol Spence stopping Terence Crawford.
So do you
Hey,
see a
Q.
scenario?
Hey, Q. This is what I.
He's gonna stop Terence Crawford, but I can see it, but I can't see him stopping EJ.
Key, do you see a scenario where Terence Crawford wins the fight without stopping EJ?
What did you say?
What'd you say?
Do you see a scenario where Terence Crawford wins the fight without stopping EJ?
I mean, I can see him winning the fight without stopping
Yeah, I
Errol
could.
Spence.
I don't.
I mean,
I
it
could.
doesn't.
You know why I don't.
Like I said, bro. I mean, I answered the question when I said that I don't see Terence Crawford stopping Errol Spence at all, but it wouldn't surprise me if he won the fight. Like I said, so yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he won the fight, but it would shock me if he won the fight by stoppage.
Okay, all right.
I don't see Terence Crawford. Go ahead, Coach.
I think that because of Errol's work rate and because of the things that he do in the ring, that the only way Terence Crawford gonna win this fight is if he knock EJ out. I'm just gonna keep it 100. I don't see him. Coach. He not gonna outwork Errol Spence. It ain't gonna happen. If he don't hurt Errol and get him out of there, and this fight go 12 rounds, you're gonna see that Terence Crawford is gonna be battered after this fight. I'm just telling y'all, everybody cannot agree with me, and that's all fine. This is just my opinion. But if he don't, because he's not gonna outwork Errol. I'm telling you right now.
I don't see him outworking Errol at all.
I don't think he have to.
This is an animal that Terence Crawford ain't never been in the ring with. This is a different type of animal that you're dealing with. You fucking with Bigfoot when you've been used to fucking with pit bulls. Y'all, this is some different shit. I'm telling you right now. Now, can Bud catch Errol coming in and hurt him and get him out of there? It's quite possible. I'm not in either one of these guys' head, but that's the only way that I see Terence Crawford winning this fight. I don't see Terence Crawford. I don't see if this fight go to distance, Errol Spence is going to outwork Terence Crawford. I've never seen Terence Crawford work at the rate that Errol Spence worked. I ain't seen hardly no other fighters do what Errol Spence do as far as the work rate and power, and get stronger as the fight go on. Right. He don't get weaker. He don't weaken. He gets stronger. So especially when he's that nigga with the shag, like Keon like to call him. When he that nigga with the shag, he gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So I just don't. If Terence Crawford has to stop EJ to win this fight, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I know most of the time with my eyes is not fucking playing tricks on me. Now, Terence Crawford has great timing. Great timing. And that motherfucker can crack with both hands. So EJ got to be careful too. But he's not gonna just rush in there the first 3 or 4 rounds. He's gonna put pressure, but he's gonna find out what Terence Crawford got. If
Even
Terence
when
Crawford
you bring that pressure,
right? Terence Crawford might hit him with some sharp shit. EJ might be okay. I gotta wait a little longer. I still gotta touch him, and I still gotta beat on him a little bit until I get him where I want, where he's not punching as hard. And that's where the problems come in.
Yep, I agree with you.
God, he cooking, boy.
I agree with you 100%, Coach.
Where you saw him do it with Kell Brooks. One round, I watched EJ go just high guard, hardly threw any punches, just let Kell Brooks exert himself. The whole round. I think it was like the 3rd or 4th round.
It's the second round.
Okay, I'm gonna see what you got. And he started pressing him. Just from his presence, was pressing him, and letting him hit him. He was blocking all that shit, slipping a few, blocking it, and then he went to work. He said, once you gonna start wearing down, I'm gonna start putting some shit on you. And that's what happened. He broke him down and he won. I don't see Terence Crawford being able to fucking go 12 rounds with Errol Spence. If it go 12 rounds, Bud is going. We've seen Bud swell up in the face, and he don't get out the way of that fucking jab like he should.
That's what I was going to talk about.
And I've never seen EJ swollen. You've seen a couple little knots, but we've seen Bud swell. So it's going to be a matter of fucking, can Bud catch EJ with some sharp shit that's going to make and control distance. Bud has to control distance. If he try to grab him, EJ gonna use his forearm. He gonna pin his hands, and he gonna continue to work. That's what he does. It's what he does, and it's hard to stop the shit.
Yeah,
If
he
Bud can
cold at
figure out a way
Penny.
to stop the shit, then Bud can be successful. If he gonna have to try to grab him, and that's where the problems come in. Every time a fighter tries that, EJ put that forearm on him, pin their hands where they can't
That
punch,
left hand
but
free.
he got one hand free. So this is an intriguing fight because just like we saw, Bud's timing is incredible.
Yep.
He
That
has an
attribute he
incredible
has.
time.
Yep.
And that motherfucker punches hard with both hands.
And
Yep.
you talking about somebody who got a high punch volume, which makes it easy to time because of the consistency
Right.
that you're seeing it. Go ahead.
Difference, but the difference is when we've seen people with a good jab, he caught Kell Brook because Kell Brook is left is
Correct.
orthodox. He's orthodox. And he
Correct.
got over his front foot and caught that fucking, and Bud caught him with that fucking sharp right hook. And it was a jab hook that he caught him with, and he met him with it. The problem with it is this. EJ is left-handed, and EJ fucking used that jab to measure, and he keep his weight on his back foot center. When he needs to move back, it's easier for him, and he springs. So it's gonna be a fucking intriguing fight. But as far as them going the distance, if it go to distance, I don't see it going to distance either way. But if it go to distance, there's no way he gonna beat Errol Spence because of the punch output.
I agree. I agree with you, that coach. Hold on, and just to
I'm getting ready to shut it down. So
okay,
I'm getting ready to shut it because I got to get off. I got some things I got to do.
Just to add on to what Coach said, I feel just to put the icing on the cake is this. Also, with what Coach is talking about, with going down the stretch, I think people are really overlooking the importance of the corners in this fight. The corners, I feel the corners are going to play a huge part in this fight because the instruction you get, if you're in a situation, because both of these guys are undefeated fighters that normally dominate the people that they fight. When you're in a situation that you're not used to being in, right? This is when you're going to have to lean on that corner to give you instruction and to follow it. And, me personally, I believe that Derek James is the best game planning coach in the sport of boxing. You can say that there are other great coaches, but I'm saying from an aspect of game planning, because if you watch when Jamel Charlo lost his two fights against Tony Harris, he drew one and lost one, but you saw him give good instruction during those fights for Jamel Charlo to actually win the fights, but Charlo didn't do it. But when they got back in the gym and they executed, worked on that game plan going into the second fight, he dominated both fights. And I feel like that is going to play a huge, huge factor going down the stretch in this fight.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%, Kwame, 100%. And we know, and we've heard the instructions that Bomac gives. You know what I'm saying? But man, I got to get ready to wrap it up. Like I said, I got to get off here. We've been on here for 2.5 hours, man. Great show. At the end of the day, I don't think the deal is fair that he got, but hey, we get in the fight. So, it's a good thing for the fans. We wasn't going to get no money out of it anyway. We the ones that spending our money to go to it or watch it. So it is what it is, but I just wanted to get the truth out there because, if I'm reporting stuff, well, I got to report what's the truth, what's the facts.
Right.
So, I appreciate everybody for coming on here. Y'all hit the like button. If y'all ain't hit my like button yet, make sure that y'all smash the like button. And I'm going to go around the panel and everybody real quick before we get off. Let me get y'all last words, and then we're going to wrap it up. So let me go to my man Nardi. Let me get your last words before we get up out of here.
I appreciate you for letting me on the show, bro. I watch all of y'all, sub to all of y'all. And the last thing I'm saying about the fight is Errol's jab works as several different things, as a distance gauge, as a tool to get to the inside. But I think that what's going to hurt Crawford is the rhythm disruptor part of his jab. And that's not going to allow Bud to get in the type of rhythm he wants until it's time to brawl. But I appreciate y'all for letting me on, man. I always learn something new when it's Real Boxing Minds on. Peace out.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate you. Coach, we're going to go to you, man. Coach, give me your last words, man, and let everybody know what you got going on tonight.
Hey, y'all come and check out Glover Boxing and More at 8 Central in a couple hours. Me and the Queen will be on there. And She got everything. That's my producer, so she got everything laid out for the couples and people that is single people too. Y'all come on, man, and don't be shy. Grab the fucking link and come on, man. We're gonna just talk about different shit and get away from this boxing shit that we talk all week long. So we talk some real shit over there, and it's raw. It's all raw and uncut. So y'all come on over and check us out, man. Glover Boxing and more. Y'all subscribe, hit that like button when y'all walk through the door, and just let me know you're in the building.
Facts.
That's it, brother.
Facts, coach.
Yes, sir. And Kwame East, man, give us your last words.
Yeah, definitely salute to the chat, to the panel, to you, the host of the show, Key. Always, I mean, your show just gets better and better and better. Shit like fine wine, man. So
Appreciate
definitely
you, man.
appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you coming on, Coach. I'm gonna be there tonight. I'm coming on. I'm grabbing the link tonight. So I'm gonna go ahead and support. I'm gonna go because you got the one platform where I don't have to yell to talk. So I'll definitely be there. I'm just excited with everything that's going on. I really don't even care about the schematic. I'm just excited that the fight is going to happen, and this is a treat for the boxing public. Thanks, Keon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And OTB, let them know. And if y'all ain't sub to OTB, make sure that y'all sub to OTB. He almost at 1,000.
Yeah, man. We 175. Appreciate everybody who hit the link today. Appreciate everybody who hit the link now. Yeah, I mean, we working, man. This week gonna be a big week though, man. We got Caleb playing Anthony Darrell film, and we gonna follow that up with Deontay Wilder, Robert Helenius. I gotta look at when the Ray Vargas and Leo Santa Cruz fight is, because we working on that like as we speak. But we know that them two gonna be dropping this week. And we working, man. We got Capper Fact Fridays, man. So y'all make sure y'all tune in, man. We definitely working at OTB Boxing School. We appreciate every student, every professor, especially the two that's up on the panel with me. Instrumental to OTB Boxing School. Y'all got to make sure y'all keys work, man. Come on in and teach class one of these days coming up, because we about to step it up, man. But for the time being, Key, I appreciate you, bro. You know what you is to me. Kwame, man. Hopefully you make it back soon. The boxing fans need you. The boxing industry appreciate your perspective, bro. And we out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate all my brothers that, hopped on the panel. Everybody in the chat, like I said, if you haven't hit the like button, make sure that you do so before we get up out of the building. We got boxing this weekend, Canelo Triple G, Bam Rodriguez. We got a lot of other fights on that card. So make sure that y'all don't miss that. And we will be back. And, be on the lookout for the videos dropping. Y'all already know how I do. Diego talking that boxing again. And I'm gone.